Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of the Prem Talk Show. See ya, this Prem Talk Show, of course, is the post-match analysis, and definitely I have my brother, my buddy, my guy, the number one pundit who actually came down here and actually watched my channel. See, no other person than my brother, my guy, from the States, you know, no other person than Bagev. Bagev, man. Talk to these people. How are you doing today, my brother, man? Talk to us, man.
Uh Tony, I'm good. I wish we didn't. I wish the result didn't happen the way it was, but I'm pretty. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the result right now. I'm still like very gutted. I mean, I have family that is Man City fans, so um, I was hoping to get one
Mm.
over them, Tony. I was hoping to get one over them this year. All I've known is
Oh,
all I've known is heartbreak. All I've known is
mm.
heartbreak because of City. So I really wanted that. I really wanted that result. So
Yeah,
I'm still pretty pissed off. I'm still pretty pissed off. I'm not, to be
yeah.
quite frank. But
See, to be very sincere with you, yeah, it was heartbreaking. Yeah, it was just heartbreaking. The final minute. I mean, the final minute. Yeah, we've held on strong for that long, and then we just capitulate. Yeah, bro, it was man, it was emotional. And again, I couldn't just really say, "Hey, the team is shit. The team is shit," because I knew that it was a five-star defensive display to be able to get to the final minute against one of the most dangerous and most prolific teams ever in recent Premier League history and champions. It, it's a big fit to come out there alive, even breathing with the way they played. I mean, it was. I mean, even in the second half, Bargavia, when the stats showed up, it was Manchester City's 86% of the ball possession, with Arsenal just having about, I think, was it 12 or 14? Bro, it was really that bad. Bag of Take us through what you thought about this matchup. Of course, we'll talk about the scores and everything, but just give us a clear synopsis of the matchup, from the start leading to the end, and later on we will chew on what you thought were your high points of the match, how we expect
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the talk about this match starts
into the
before the game.
emotions you felt, and we could also have other.
Yeah, so I feel like when you're talking
Yeah,
about this
and
match,
guys, remember this is a calling show, so calling
uh,
later. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Continue,
yeah,
man.
so I feel like when you talk about this match, it starts before it actually starts before this game even because the whole talk all week has been Man City has had 1 day more to prep. The Champions League performances were about similar. I think Man City in a way like yeah Man City played Inter. Inter are playing right now by the way, so it's 1-0 in the Milan derby. But
Mm,
for the most part
mm,
uh, so Inter Milan, like Atalanta, I felt more disappointed in the Arsenal performance for Atalanta because I thought that was more winnable than if we played Inter. Inter was actually they did some stuff. Inter did some stuff in that game that is kind of, we still got to play them by the way going to
mm,
Italy. So there was a lot of
yeah,
talk with the Champions League. It was a great Champions League this week, by the way. If you haven't seen like some of those games were really good.
yeah,
Like I saw the Sparta game, etc. But to get on
yeah.
this match, I expected
Mostly
a lot of
mostly the Man City Inter Milan game was a good game. Actually, back of talking about that Champions League, I don't know. Maybe Inter Milan drained them just enough for Arsenal to actually have a chance of actually getting anything of this game because Man City looked drained. They looked tired. They looked drained. But of course, when you're one man down, anything can happen. But I'll allow you. Talk off. But big up to the assembled who's down here. Big up to BX Guna, who's down here. Our brother, our guy. Big up to you, BX Guna. How you doing, man? How do you feel about that matchup? The assembled. How do you feel about that matchup? Bagav is here to tell us more about that. Bagav, take it away.
Yeah, so I mean, so in a way, like I feel like our attack was so anemic against Atalanta. I think people just wanted to draw out of this game. I get their like feelings about it, but for me, I thought this was a statement game. If we're gonna come here, the Etihad and like so Man City away and like Liverpool away have been nightmares to go to, and for the next step, we actually as a team, this was like a milestone game, and I just feel like Inter did score, by the way. Like PX is right. I just saw the goal. Great finish. But for the most part, when you talk about Arsenal,
Mhm.
uh,
Inter just
I
equalized. Big
huh?
ups.
Yeah, they just equalized.
No, I
But
said
when you
Inter
talk,
just equalized. Man,
yeah.
big one.
So that's so for me, the way I look at it with Arsenal, it's like this was a monumental game. You come here, like if you make a statement, you take control of the title. It would have been nice. When I look at the whole game as a whole, like I didn't expect I feel like our team goes as far as our defense goes. So embrace our defense because
Hmm.
our defense made a very
Wait,
bad.
wait, wait. Pause. Wait.
Yeah,
Pause. Wait. Bagav. Let's unpiece that. What did you
okay.
just say?
Our team goes as
Let's
far as our
unpiece
defense.
that. It was a little
Yeah,
bit fast.
our
Yeah.
team goes as far as our defense. So like believe in them, like trust them, because I think those are our those are our players, by the way. So um, keep
Mm.
keep them in the best mindset possible because those two have a good partnership. They made a bozo mistake for the first goal today. I really you saw my bet 20 I sent you. Like I thought Holland wasn't going to score today, and then
Oh.
and that was
Mm,
big up to Savio. He did his thing today. He created space for that whole Holland goal that happened
mm,
for City, but like
mm.
our defense doesn't leave that big of a gap. Our center backs especially. So, but they made up for it with the
Exactly.
header. So I mean, that first
Mm.
goal, like it was all on Savio. By the way, that he split like three defenders and then
Yeah.
put in a nice ball in for
Yeah.
Holland. So
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
all on Savio on that one. But
Mm.
that's just quality. We
No.
and
But again,
Bukayo Saka didn't do the same thing on the other side. Our attack is a big question
true.
mark at the moment. Our attack is a big question mark at the moment. So
No. No. See. Yeah. We'll get to that. Big ups to keeping it real, Chelsea. That's our guy. Go to his channel. Subscribe to that channel. He's a great guy. Keeping it real, Chelsea. That's my brother, man. That
oh
guy's
yeah,
been riding with me, man. He's a great brother. The assembled is here. And see, yeah, Miss Melina is here. Miss
hey, big up.
Melina, do you
Oh,
want to come up to the show? It would be nice to have you down here, Miss Melina. She says big ups. Yeah, Miss Melina, fresh from my birthday. She's shining. She's looking good. Big up to you, Miss Melina. Hope you're doing okay. And did you like the game today? Big up to the Fight Week show.
yeah, we did
Leroy and the
well.
rest of them, yeah. Smash the likes, he says. Big ups to you, man. The Fat Week Show. Bits is still down here. Miss Melina says, Tony, Mike Paddy, Miss Melina, big ups to you. See, yeah, you just mentioned Savio. I mean, Bagav, big players get you, they get you off, some certain kind of a thin line, thread that you're treading on with a moment of magic, with a moment of, with that quick moment of magic and quality, they could just snap it up and it's changed. Same thing with Haaland. Big, strong, he's been scoring goals, all season already. I mean, he's already scored about 10 goals. Uh, no one has done it in the history of Manchester City. He just did it today, broke that dog today again, fastest to 10 goals at the start of the season. And then you also have Savio. I mean, look at the way he split our defense. I mean, that's the team with the best defensive record. And Savio just carved into that defense as if he was just having his birthday. I, I mean, moment of magic, moment of quality. You bring in quality players. That's what quality brings for you. But do you think that Arsenal's quality playing Manchester City today was a little bit lighter, or do you think we were at par and it was more equal? How did you see it? Did
No,
you
I thought
see
it
them
was.
as a more superior power,
I,
more
th-
superior team with the
I thought we
quality they
were.
had?
I thought we were on par, but like the issue I have with our team is there's something with our team like where we have spurts. People go up and down like with their performances, and whereas like with City,
Hmm.
I feel like they spread it out more to an extent that the consistency they have a little more consistency for some reason. Um, you don't see like Kai Havertz should be
Hmm.
when you just look at Kai Havertz and I look at Erling Haaland. We I love bigging up Kai, by the way. I told you what I expect from him. 20 goals, right? Um, I do like Kai Havertz.
Yeah,
I like the fact that
big up to Kai, man. He walked his
I,
socks tirelessly today.
he's been working his socks off like
He
for our
walked
team.
his
Like he
socks
has
tirelessly today.
tireless. No, he even the Spurs game, he was dead tired after that Spurs game. Like and to play to play those 3 games back to back to back to back, it does take it does take
Mm.
a character. It does take a character. My issue with him is like obviously people can say his finishing ability. He had a chance in Atlanta. He wins the ball. He should put that away. He
Mm.
should put that away. I mean, there's just small things with Kai. Like I think he's great for our team. People say like we're missing Odegaard. I don't think that's the case. I don't think we're missing Odegaard as much as the other creative players need to like step up. That's my opinion. I think Odegaard has a part to play. By the way,
No,
Odegaard has a part to play. Like
I mean,
people always come at me for this situation because I've said this for years. That I said this last year too. I said over reliance on over Odegaard might cost us. Um, we let ESR go. Don't forget, and that guy knows our system. We should have maybe kept him if we're chasing as a backup. When you think about it, we sold him. People mention the injury history and stuff, but
mm,
for that position, so that means Neri should be the next one in, right? I think that the Neri situation will start after Bolton. That will start after Bolton, by the way. Like I think that would be his like him and Sterling.
yeah. By the way, yeah.
Whatever they're gonna do for this team, it's gonna start after Bolton. But at the end of it, like,
But
but still,
but again, does the manager trust them enough? Does the manager trust them enough to actually field them in those games? Because I mean, today I was thinking that maybe one area might come in the last minute of that game to use his speed
yeah,
and agility to actually show up our defense, because we already had tired legs down there. We're already having injuries, players dropping like flies. Calafiore injury, Julian Timber injury, even David Raya was stretching. He was stretched to the limit today. I don't know how many more saves can come at that guy. But again, that's a different topic altogether. Yeah, but
yeah, that's a different topic.
look at what BX Gunner said here. Let's go with BX. Big ups to Zane Channel. Zane's channel is down here. Big ups to you, Zane Channel, man. How you doing? Hope you're okay. How did you like the draw today? Are you fascinated about it, or are you kind of like emotional, about it? Please let us know. BX is going to say something very important. It says going down to 10 men limited our attack. We scored 2 goals in the first 45 minutes. Take it away from there, Bargav, man. Give a
That's not
reply
an
to BX
excuse.
Schooner who just
That's not an
threw that
excuse.
at us.
We created this team like what, like years ago, and we said the same thing. Whoever's on the pitch, find a way to get it done. That's what we said. If we have an experienced players playing, it's up to the experienced players to like show the way. That's just there's a book on this, but I don't know. Rude Hulit uh, used to say
Mm,
like if you have inexperienced players, it's on the experienced players to make them feel put them in situations that and lead on the pitch. If they can't do certain stuff, like you figure out a way to like work around that. So that's just that's what people say in football. You're not always gonna have your best like. Everyone thinks like everything's gonna go perfectly in these games. No, you're gonna miss some pieces. Quite frankly, when
Uh,
things
uh, uh,
happen,
uh,
that's when like the team actually. That's when you learn about the team too. So
a bag of are we looking at this holistically? I mean, we went into the
yeah, it was a
into
good
the
game.
heart, the belly of the beast, yeah, today. Yeah, these guys have scored 13 goals in 5 matches. Let's don't
Yeah,
throw that away. This is
I'm
the
not throwing
most
it away.
prolific team in the last decade. For me, that's how I look at them. They're monsters. And they've not actually lost in that place since I think Arsenal last beat them at the Etihad
No,
in
we haven't beat them.
2015. If I'm
Uh,
not wrong, the last time we beat them was in 2015. That's the last time we beat them
no, I think we
at
beat
the
them.
Etihad.
We
No,
beat
no,
them
no.
last year.
No, 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 no,
In general,
no. We beat them last
at
year,
the
but
end.
we didn't beat them at the Etihad. We
Yeah,
last won at the Etihad in 2015, if I'm correct. Yeah. And again,
was that
I
the
don't know the record that they have since when they've been beaten.
was that the
I've
Alexis
totally
Sanchez?
forgotten, but it's a long time ago.
Was that the Sanchez?
Yeah,
Was
I
that the
think that
thing
was the
that
Alexis
one?
Sanchez
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Exactly. I
I
think
remember that
so.
game.
I
Yeah.
think so. So again, so now this is the team you're talking about, yeah. And Arsenal churned out that great, by the way, defensive display to hold them off to the end of the 90 minutes of the game where they scored that goal. And we did this with 10 men. Are we looking at this objectively? Are we getting over our heads? Because just completely, just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, in fact, after that game against Atalanta, people were saying that we were, being set up for smashing, at City. And then Arteta goes down there and switches things up. And even after going one man down and you're 10 with one of the most fearful and scary attacks in the whole of Europe, uh, and they look clueless. They couldn't even, you know, get a decent shot into into David Raya. It was just hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. We didn't see any clear precision. We held them off in the final third. The players were tirelessly running at them, sticking a boot to their face. For the first time, yeah, I just saw Pep Guardiola being rattled by a team. I've not seen this man being rattled by a team in the last decade. I'm sorry, man. I've not seen this guy being rattled. Today he looked rattled. Today he threw everything the kitchen sink today on this Arsenal team with one man down. Are are we getting over our heads with this thought that we should have just come here and grind out a win and left the place winners today? Are we really kind of like spoilt in thinking about that?
No, 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 no. But I think there's proper criticisms. I mean, especially with the trends
Mm,
when you compare the Atalanta game and then when you compare this game. Listen, I take Champions League very seriously.
mm,
Like I think we could have actually done more in that Atlanta game. People keep saying like, "Oh, it's a good draw because considering like the week, etc." Uh, uh, I'll tell you what, like if we do that same thing at PSG, we're gonna be 2 points in the Champions League, and we have a long way back from that. Like I think that game was way more winnable. Uh, I think PSG is going
yeah,
to present their own
mm,
problems when they show up at the Emirates. But when I look at the Atlanta game as a whole, I thought our creativity needed to be way better. Where's Bukayo Saka been? I'm still like I'm still confounded by that one. Martinelli, people scapegoat Martinelli also, but you know what I mean? Like there's issues that we have. The one thing we did, like I said, prey on our defense,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Iran
respect
is
our
soft off
defense,
today. I won't lie.
respect our defense, because like the one thing Man City didn't do today, and all the Man City fans can suck it because sorry for saying that, but like they can take it because they didn't find the extra men. You had one extra
No
player on the
problem.
pitch for 45 minutes, and you could not figure out a way to get a goal. The only reason you got that goal is like Jack Grealish took that early corner, and he had the he did the thing.
Yeah.
He did something
Mm.
different. He did something different. I mean, at the very end, David Raya played his heart out today. So, big up to Raya, by the way. He's been probably our
Uh,
player of the season. But yeah,
See, yeah, if do, do you think that we're really missing Martin Odegaard, or we really missed Martin Odegaard in this matchup? Do you think things would have been done differently if we had Martin Odegaard? Because, for instance, if Martin Odegaard was available in today's matchup, Trossard won't play in that wing. We won't be getting a red card today. But I really felt that Trossard was doing quite a good job in actually stopping the transition of
yeah,
Manchester City, approaching with the ball most of the time through quick transitions. He was breaking them down even before they even got, and that's not even his job. His job down there, and is just to stay within that number 10 area and just try to create while he could. But of course, when you're dealing with Manchester City, you have to push back. But he was also doing defensive duties today. He was running back, he was tracking back, he was tracking his man, he was trying to do one or two dirty jobs. Of course, he had to, use his shoulder, use his body to, throw his body on the line. But what do you think is Trossard's thought process right now? Do you think he sees himself as part of this team true and true, even after this red card?
yeah. So
And
I mean,
again, do
his
you think Martin Odegaard would have done things differently? Do you think Martin
no,
Odegaard would have done things differently or had a different effect in this matchup today?
no, I don't think so. In the biggest games, he gets like man marked out. His highlight for me has always been like that Porto assist. That
Mm,
Porto assist was like the most brilliant thing he's probably done at Arsenal. Uh, Occasionally at Southampton, I think we were like 2-0 down. I saw an aggression in Martin Odegaard. I saw stuff in Martin Odegaard when I think it was like what 2-0 down, and then he tries his best to like make a comeback happen. Burnley, he had the free
mm,
kick. Uh, like um, for me with Martin Odegaard, I get it. Like we built our entire team around him, right? We built our entire team around him, our entire like thought
mm.
processes. So I get why he's a big player for us, and I'll say this again for the rest up. It's he had an ankle injury. Don't come back too soon. Rest up. You have a part to play in this team. Just 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 him not being here. No, I don't think so. We've had a lot of good players around him. He's had a lot of good players around him that have had like really good performances. Mesut Ozil didn't have this luxury, by the way. You have to
Yeah.
remember that. So, like, I mean,
Yeah.
people want to
Mm.
say like, oh, people want to love Odegaard for a multitude of reasons, right? But at the end of the day, like, when it comes down to it, everything's not built. Everything's not. Everything doesn't rely on him. Like, we built a team for a reason. A team, like,
Um,
where we're looking at every single player can
bag
contribute
of,
to the
let's
team.
be fair. Bag of, let's be fair. Um, Before this injury to Martin Odegaard, I was thinking in those same lines that Martin Odegaard could be a pushover in this team. It could
Yeah,
necessarily also be a push, like a kind of like a passenger in this team somehow. But seeing Arsenal's games, consecutive games without him, I'm thinking differently. I've not really seen that person in this team that has actually taken that mantle of creativity to the next level. We all know Martin Odegaard, yeah. It could come in some certain kind of games, moment of brilliance, 1-2 magic, 1-2 3 carry. It gives you, clearly lofted passes, and you're straight ahead. You and the goalkeeper 1v1. You and the defense 2v2. He has the ability, he has the skill set to pull those kind of stunts. But and really, I've not really seen that, and it's actually affecting Arsenal. Without Martin Odegaard, I've not really seen Arsenal have, that clear creativity in the middle of the park. I've not really seen it. those clearly lofted passes down to maybe Gabriel Jesus or Gabriel Martinelli, or even that true ball to Bukayo Saka from the right hand side. I've not really seen all those things on display with this Arsenal team since he has been injured. So it means that there's a gap, and I'm not seeing anyone who's ready in this team to actually take up that mantle. So, so if we're to go by it, Martin Odegaard is not actually a passenger in this team. He's actually an ingrained big member. Actually, this team is built around him. To be very sincere with you, I, I I don't see any creativity in this team right now. We're clearly lacking in that. I mean, the goal came from Calafiori. Let's don't hype up, the goals we scored. It wasn't our offense that did that. It was clearly our defensive stars that pulled us through today. Calafiori with that clearly lofted ball into the top corner. Lovely, amazing as it gets. Uh, Gabriel with that header, man. Come on, it's our defense carrying this team right now, and in the absence of Martin Odegaard's creativity in the middle of the park. And Bag, we just have to call a spade a spade. Martin Odegaard is sorely missed.
Yeah, but there has to be context with that. So, Atlanta. When's the last time we played a team like Atlanta? That team's a unique. That team has a unique style, by the way. That team
No,
has a very unique
leave
style.
see,
Uh,
re-
uh,
remove Atlanta from the equation. Remove
okay,
Atlanta from the equation. Let's talk about the Premier League. Remove Atlanta from the equation. Yeah, let's talk
yeah,
about the Premiership itself.
okay. The Prem
because,
itself.
because we just started the Champions League. It's not like
So there's what? So this is the
it's
third
not
game
like
without
we've played
Odegaard.
like three, four, 5 games.
So this is the
Obviously,
third game without
yeah, this is
Odegaard,
the
right?
third game. Like, where's the creativity? Yeah, like where's
So
the creativity? Where's the movement?
okay, so
I mean,
I,
it's completely like,
I just think it's too early to say that because I do think like we haven't seen Navnari, right? And I think Navnari is a pretty creative player. He's a very creative player, and that's his natural position. So wait for Navnari. There's a reason like he's being held back, and I get it. Like he's a young player. Uh,
mm,
it's an English it's an English thing too, by the way. Like if this was Spain, I'm pretty sure he would play. In Spain, like they love to play their young players. Barcelona did it with like their players. With England, I feel like we tend to want to protect him a little bit more. Um, I still need to see that guy in this team because I mean, when I saw him in the preseason, when I saw him at Frankfurt last
big
year,
ups Paul Forward.
was it Frankfurt? I think that
Yeah,
was the preseason game. He has qualities. He has qualities in that central position. It's just a question of like you want to make sure like everything else is like set before you put him on the pitch and expect results from him, because you know how the
mm,
media goes. Like as soon as one bad performance happens, they'll absolutely kill him. So we're gonna make. I think people want to make sure like Navnari's right before he comes in. We'll find out after the Bolton game. We also got like we also haven't seen Sterling. We also haven't seen him.
we'll find.
So our creativity. When you talk about our
That's
creativity,
true. That's true.
um, so when you talk about our creativity,
No,
we're
but back of
go ahead.
what you just said is just true. Mikel Arteta brought in, like, what's the need of bringing in Sterling if you're not gonna give him a run in the team? Like, I mean, yeah. See, I don't want to. I don't want to be kind of like negative, today because I knew that defensive display, you know, it drained the boys. It takes hard
Mhm.
work to go to the ATR to do that. To be very sincere with you, with one man down, I
Yeah,
have mercy on them today for doing that. But again, man, I, I mean, it took so long before he could replace players that were already going down to the ground. Calafiore, injured today. Timber, injured today. And we had players who could actually come in and run it up. So this manager sometimes, yeah, it does leave some things to be desired. Like, does he really trust the players that he actually brings into the football club? You decided to go for Sterling. I didn't want any of Chelsea's leftovers, but you decided to go for Sterling. Why not at least play the guy? You have a guy in your setup, yeah. Waneri is fast. He understands the game. Personally, that's what I think. Why not give him a run up? In the tail end of the game, give him a run up. We had lots of tired legs out there, so to some extent, yeah, Mikel Arteta, sometimes I don't know how he thinks, man. Sometimes it seems lost. And again, when you look at what BX Jonas says here, he said, had we not gone full defensive mode, we would have lost. Do you believe in that term?
What, like that we would have lost? I mean, Man City is always a tough place to go to. I mean, anybody who plays Man City, they know like it's a game they have to show up at. That you're talking about one of the two best teams in Europe,
Mm,
probably. Like, I mean, up there with Madrid in ways. They took it to Madrid too. They had Madrid and them had a draw last year in the Champions League, that went to penalties. That's a really good team. I'm not. Let's
mm,
not dispute
mm,
that. They're playing different. They're still not the best Man City version I've
mm,
seen in my lifetime. That's still not the best Man City version I've seen in my lifetime, but um, uh, that team is built differently. The goal for them is to they're really pushing Holland,
yeah.
like for the Ballon d'Or. Like they really want to, like the way Man City's playing. They know, I feel like that Holland will get them, guarantees them goals against it guarantees them goals, right? So, but in the biggest of
Baggers,
games, though,
but
biggest of games,
Baggers,
though,
but yeah.
biggest of games. I don't know. Like Holland,
I mean,
it's
Baggers, man.
but that's their team though. That's their team. Like they want like a
Baggers,
lot of
just look at the quality in that team. Let's don't sugarcoat
yeah.
these things, yeah. Look at the quality in that Man City team, yeah. I
But
mean,
they've
Erling
earned that.
Haaland, yeah. He
They
could pick
built
up a
that and
goal
earned that though.
anytime he likes.
But they built that and earned that though.
I
Like I mean,
mean,
it's
look at
like
Savage. You know he's gonna be a savage, right?
yeah, but they
Yeah,
built
I
and earned
know,
that like over years. Like
again, they have the quality players. They have the quality players. But we too,
yeah,
we spent lots of money. Why not have that kind of quality? See, yeah, I really do think that if we had a striker today out
yeah,
there, yeah, mostly when we had all that spell of possession in the first half, we would have done damage to this Man City team. It only takes a magical striker, someone in the mode of Gyökeres, to, to, to
mm,
win us this game. It's easy. City were there for the taking. To be very sincere, throw away what happened with Trossard. If we throw that away, yeah, with a quality striker, would take City to the dregs of this game. We could literally win this game today. So for me, it's about quality. For me, it's about discipline. And again, are you concerned? Throw away the quality stuff, yeah. Are you now concerned about Arsenal's disciplinary record? I mean, Declan Rice, you saw what happened, yeah, when he got a red card. Today
yeah,
again, Trossard. Trossard is usually the coolest guy in the room. Let's don't act as if Trossard isn't the coolest guy. I can't really remember when that guy got his last red card. Throw that all away. Today, he got a red card today. Declan Rice sent off in the other matchup. He just came back today in the Premiership. Are you really concerned, Thomas Partey getting another yellow card today? And that's the core that forms the core of our midfield this season. Are you beginning to think that our disciplinary record should be something that we should definitely watch out for? Are we seeing more red cards in the offing? Have we toughened up to such a extent that in the middle of the park and in our back four that we just have to deal with this yellow cards. It's now part of our game because we're now more compact and trying to defend properly and trying to cut off transitions more effectively. Uh, Is this disciplinary record, getting to your head emotionally, Bagger?
no, 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 not at all. Because uh, I think today, I think today's second yellow was kind of soft personally, but uh, the
Mm,
ref decided it, whatever. But like I've seen, Bernardo Silva is not that weak that he got hurt by that challenge. personally. Like,
Mm. Come on, man.
I'm
You
sorry.
said
Like,
it. You set
I'm
down
sorry.
a private chart. I believe it. It's
Like,
stronger than that. Come on, come on.
he's stronger than that. Like, and he's also a he's also a tough player. So he does the same challenges
Yeah.
at times too. So as far as like I said, like I believe in my defense. I think like our team goes as far as the defense. People can say what they want. Our team goes as far as our defense, and we got a decent defense. I think
Mm.
it will always keep us in games.
I
Like I
said,
just to
yeah. I do believe that. Big, yeah. Big ups to Don C, who is down here, man. Big ups, man. I had a
yeah,
lovely show. Sorry, Bagavia. I had a
yeah.
lovely show with Don C on the Sackers in TV. He's a great guy, man. I like his brand of what he presents on T, man. Big ups. Big ups, Don C, man. Just nice to see you down here, man. And of course, tell us what you think about the matchup today, Don C, man. To be nice to hear from you, Don C. Shout out to John Smith, my friend John Smith. John Smith, how did you see that match today? What do you think about it? Do you think it's a good point, or do you think we bottled it? Uh, Bagav, are Arsenal bottle jobs for dropping points today at the Etihad? What I'm trying to see is, what do you think about this draw? Do you think this is 1 point gained, or do you think this is 3 points lost? How do you see it? Did Arsenal bottle it at the Etihad today?
Based on the magnitude, I'd say 2 points dropped, but it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because our defense showed a lot of like fight that second half. So I kind of want to remember that part. Like that's not easy, by the way. I know we're gonna talk about this, like, but like what they did like in that second half is not easy. And also, it also took a bit of like from Man City. They couldn't find that extra man. They could not find that extra man like in the second half. So give our defense a lot of credit. Like it's not easy to. I would at times I would have preferred if there a better outlet to like maybe get like to alleviate some of that pressure because I felt like it was just constant clearances. But at times I wish there would. I think Kai tried to
It
do
was
that at
just,
times. Like
it
Kai
was
tried to like do that
constant
at times, but
bombardment.
yeah, I think Kai tried to do that at points where like he
It just,
decided he just
yeah,
decided to like take it and like and the ref even like didn't even acknowledge the foul. Like that was in the second half at the very beginning. Sterling could have been interesting if they just had him like be up
yeah,
top and like and run run and find gaps. But still, like I mean, in games like that, I always wondered like why Saka doesn't just get played on the left side because I think he could have. I think he could have been like because he knows how to play left back. He knows because we pretty much gave him experience playing left back, right? He could have given us options. He could have given us
yeah.
options in that sense too. So
Other
there's,
options.
there's
Yeah.
other options, but I think
Mm,
you have to look at it and be like playing 45 minutes. It is draining to like constantly be under attack, and it's unfortunate,
it's
but like
draining,
yeah,
constantly
it's
under
draining.
assault.
Yeah,
No,
and
that
we
wasn't
took it.
that wasn't an attack.
Yeah,
No, that wasn't an attack. That was an assault. That was an assault on our,
that was an assault. Yeah,
on our on our half of the field. It was a clear assault. They assaulted our post. They peppered our goalkeeper. They drained our defenders,
yeah,
and they're now falling like flies. I mean, let's talk about this. Let's take let's take a chill pill. Let's talk
yeah,
about this. Calafiori, we lost him today. Bukayo Saka went down the drain today, and drab performance from Bukayo Saka today, definitely.
yeah.
Julian Timber down and out. Are you beginning to look at this injuries, yeah, now happening to our powerhouse, which is what has been carrying us along through the season, and which is what has left these teams respecting us. Because the only reason why these teams respect us, it's not because of our prowess in attacking. It's not because of the wealth of experience or or the resources we have employed in the middle of the park. It's the fearful and scary nature of our defense and our defensive partnership down in the central defensive areas and in the left back and right back areas. That's why these teams are scared of us. If we start losing these players like we saw today, Calafiori dropping down, during Timber, who has been good by the way this season, yeah. If these guys are all dropping like flies, yeah, bag of are you beginning to think that the center won't hold and we might soon see the demise of our, you know, of our most coveted part of our team, just disintegrate into injury? Are
No,
you scared about this, or do you think we have enough cover?
no. I think the way we built our team, it's um, whoever's on the pitch get the 3 points. And there's a reason certain players of ours played multiple positions over time. They've had games where they play multiple positions. So at this
Mm,
point, no, there's no excuses. I don't want to hear it either. Like I don't want to hear about like we couldn't get 3 points. Just go and get the 3 points. Uh, my criticism has always been like at times like I don't think the best tactics were played. I mean, in the Atalanta game, for example, I wish Havertz was up top. I said this. I wish Havertz was up top.
mm,
It didn't make sense for me.
mm,
Uh, this game, I'm like, all right, we played because 4-4-2. You know, like our defensive style has been like 4-4-2. I mean, Odegaard, it's either Odegaard and
yeah.
Havertz when we're trying to like be defensive. So, fine. This the lineup today was decent. Um, Partey and Rice, like I think they were critical. Like I think when they're in the center,
Mm,
even if they had like drab performances, like I think it's more of a fear factor
mm,
when you go with that lineup. I think those are the true and tested ones. Still, I haven't seen Partey's have a
mm.
performance like he did at Atletico. Like, but today was a really good. Today they were really critical. I think there
Yeah,
is a
considering our predicament today, he gave a decent account of himself
yeah.
today. I do agree with you, Baggett. He's nothing like what he was at Atletico, but considering the kind of match we had today, I'll just give him credit for at least staying that long. That man is, for me, you know, I think that man is old, man. And look at
Partey.
the kind of running he had to do today. Look at the kind of defensive display he had to show up today. He had to roll up his socks and put in a decent shift. Let's go into the charts because some big
Yeah.
wigs are in the chart. Don't see who I respect so well, man. I had a show. I'll keep talking about this. I had a show on Sarcasm TV. I respect this Don C guy, great guy, and I'll read out what he said down here because I think it makes lots of sense. Hendon Gunner is down here. I respect the guy. Josh True Gunner, my guy, my Italian brother. Josh True Gunner will have a show this coming week. We have to talk about this, what happened. And Josh True Gunner says, good evening, lad. Hendon Gunner says here, yeah, he says, God knows what players we will have left for the upcoming games. Edu, he says, Edu may have to dive into the free agent market to get reinforcement. Bagger will take us through that later on. Hendon Gunner says down here too, he says, in the second comment here, he says, uh, to be fair, Partey stood up and was counted. He played well. Looks like the ring rustiness has started to be removed the more minute he plays. And then Don T, my guy. Shout out to Ron Jeremy, who's down here on the show. Big ups, Ron. Big Ron. Where have you been all season, man? Where have you been, brother? Big ups to you, Ron Jeremy. Nice to see you down here. And of course, Don C yeah, says, listen to this, Bagger, because you're going to give us your perspective on this because I really do respect this Don C guy and Hendon Gunner and the rest of them. He says, hey, yeah, he says, hey, bro, considering playing 45 minutes plus minutes with 10 men against City, it was, and they just scoring with just 30 seconds to go. I'm proud with the team. Trossard is an idiot. Now, just put that in quotes. Yeah, guys, don't see as, is bringing the bazookas down here, man. It says Trossard is an idiot and it's stupid. It's a stupid sending off. Two things are there, two like for like terms, different in a way, but still come to form a whole. Trossard is an idiot. It's a stupid sending off. They're two different parts. One links to the referee, one links to the stupid nature of the player. Do you really look at it like Trossard was indeed an idiot, for that push? And do you think that the referee in more incendiary spaces, is you know, is a half wit for dishing out a red card for a normal nudge on a Portuguese player that we know is more stronger than that? Everyone knows Bernardo Silva is a strong, strong player. Forget his height, forget his physique. He's one of the most strongest and durable players I've seen, bro, in a decade or so. He's one of them strong players that have a very, very miniature kind of body. You know, bro, he's strong. That push it's just dark art. These are the referees saying, yeah, he has the dark art. He fell off. He knew that Trossard was in trouble immediately he got down. He knew it. He knew it. And that's why he rolled up on the floor. He knew, he hollered, he shouted. He knew that because he has the dark arts in him. That's something that Arsenal don't have as an Arsenal in their bazookas, the dark arts. So what do you think about what Don C said here, man?
Yeah, I'm
Mostly
not.
in that statement, Trossard is an idiot. It's a stupid sending off. They are two different things. The referee and Trossard. What do you think?
No, I think Trossard fits that position. I mean, has his starts been great? Not really. I mean, for the most part, I think
No,
his
it's no, it, no, it's not about fitting that position.
yeah,
It's about what he committed. That's
what
the
he committed.
statement. It's not about fitting the position. Throw away the position. What he
Yeah.
did, does it warrant him to be questioned, to be critiqued?
No, I think it's a competitive game. Like in competitive games, like smallest things matter. So I think he was just playing competitively. There's uh, some of these games I've seen. Some of the cards I've seen uh, have been questionable though. Like this whole that's a ref thing. Like I think you were talking about this. Like it's a ref thing, English ref thing. I think when you have like big games, you
Mm,
have to let the players play. I think that's the best thing you can do is like let the players play. Uh, Obviously, certain
yeah.
things like deserve to be sent off. It's just, but it's not good for the fans or like the players themselves. Like if you have stupid cards. Uh, I also think Rodri like fell to his like.
Mm,
I think that Rodri thing was initially. I thought the Rodri thing was. Which one was it? Like was it like a
was a
shoulder board?
gimmick, right? Was a
Yeah,
gimmick, but
I thought it
it
was a
was
gimmick.
real. It was real.
It was real. So, but
Mm,
at the same time, like there's
yeah,
certain
it was
things I
real.
think I do think like I don't know. I feel like there's some of these players can take more contact than advertised. They're not that soft.
Dan, exactly. Big ups to Ron Jeremy, who was in the charts too. But look at Hendon Gunner. Hendon Gunner is going straight right for the bazooka. He says Trossard was stupid. He did not need to make that
Mm.
challenge with 20 seconds to go to the end of the first half. It was already on a yellow. Why make
Why
it
make it
easy for the
easy?
ref sending bro, I think he used his bazooka quite well, man. Hand on
Yeah.
Gunner, man. Kudos to you, man. See, bag of yeah. There comes a time where we need to call a spade a spade. We all like with what you've said about Trossard. I know you like the guy. I like Trossard too. He is is an is an important player to bring from the bench. That's what I really do think, and he does that perfectly well. But the bigger problem is it, at times like this when you need more of your experienced players to get you over the line, and then they are the ones that are causing you more problems. It was stupid, so stupid to do that, man. You know you're on a yellow card. You know this referee has been paid, has had paid jobs from the UAE before. You know that. You know it's part and parcel of this Man City setup. You know that. You know he is biased in some way. Why give him the reason? Why give him the daylight reason to actually unleash his wickedness on you? Like,
So,
I mean, it's bonkers. To
so,
just
so
blatantly like just shove it in the face of the referee. Mind you, that challenge was done almost in front of the referee. And I mean, when you're in big matches like this, that discipline counts in every second. Bro, man, and you know you're already on a yellow card. You know it's already half time. You're meant to, you know, make it harder, but not to make blatant tackles like that, man. I think it was too brazen for me. The tackle was good to me, but it was too brazen, and the already compromised ref already. For me, I think it's compromised. And see, guys, allegedly compromised, not factually compromised. I think is allegedly biased and compromised. But again, you don't just give him that leverage. You don't give him the reason to just throw you out, which is what he wanted in the first place. So why just give it to him in a platter of gold? So that's deep and ingrained stupidity from Trossard, who I really like. Bag of what's your take on what Hendon Gunn just said?
well, so I think the Premier League might have said like they gave him the yellow for kicking the ball away, not so much the foul, not so much that it was a foul. Uh, that that whole like kicking the ball away is I think that's kind of harsh these days. I think they need to look at that. Like they really do need to look at that because I think he was playing. I
That's
think he was just
harsh.
playing competitively.
Doku kicked the ball away. No yellow card was given to him. Doku
No,
kicked the ball away in the first half. No one gave him a yellow. There is no consistency. Even if I do think Trossard is really an idiot, guys, I know I don't use cuss words, but
yeah,
you have to give me an exception to this rule. I
yeah.
really think was an idiot for that, man. You don't give a reason to this referee to want to bond you out anyway. You don't give them a reason to actually push you out of the game. That's what they want in the first place, and you just give them a more bigger reason to do that because it was a brazen one in front of the referee. He needs a reason to give Man City the advantage allegedly, and you just give it to him in a platter of gold. I think that's stupidity of the highest order.
Yeah, the kicking the ball away. I think
From Trossard, who is meant to be an experienced player, who has played at that against top four oppositions, against Liverpool, against the same Manchester City, the past with his team, Brighton. He's done lots of these things. He's caused havoc against top four teams, and to come down here, he knows the importance of this game. He knows that Arsenal needs these 3 points, and then you go do that in front of the referee that wants to bundle you out of the game already. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
yeah. I
You know.
mean, listen,
So
the kicking the
uh,
ball away, the kicking the ball away thing is. I guess you can control that to an extent. You can control that to an extent, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I feel like that rule needs to be looked at. Like why run like a competitive game? Like sometimes sometimes you're just playing competitively in that sense,
mm,
uh, but it is yeah, in a way like you just win the ball and like you take if anything take the tackle at the end of it. Like don't just kick it away like that, but. It's kind of it's kind of it's
yeah.
a difficult one when you're like when you're like emotionally playing the thing. Uh, but even then, like yeah, it's one of those
Mm,
ones. I don't like
mm.
that rule, like
It's
the
one of
kicking the
those.
ball away.
Handler.
I don't like that rule by the way, the kicking the ball away. I think there
Me
should be a
too. Me too. Me
but
too. I don't like the rule. Yeah, but again, it's a rule. But again, it's a rule. It's a rule for a
yeah, it doesn't
reason.
matter. Yeah,
Don't kick. They've made it a rule. Obey the law. Like, why is it so difficult here for players to just obey the law? It's simple. It's as simple as saying don't commit crimes. It's easy like that. What with this indiscipline? Like, and Arsenal players, should come for the chop for this, man. Why are we so indisciplined in this team? I mean, we've raked up red cards this season already. Declan Rice have been shown off. Now Trossard has been shown off. It's now becoming, a constant thing for Arsenal to be cutted out of the game these days, and we're doing it in such, bro, we're doing it in such back-to-back manner for my liking. So, we should really cut down on that indiscipline of this team. Yeah, allow it to go. Stop breaking this place. In such a, you know, in such a way that flouts the new rule that the FA has just installed. Allow it
Yeah,
go. Allow them play. And if you must do those things, do it professionally. But us, we just do it brazenly with I don't know, with impunity. That's how we do it, and that's why these refs, are so clear in doing it because Doku did his. He kicked the ball away, and there was no yellow card given to him. But he did it in a more professional manner. But Arsenal, we just do it brazenly, and that's the problem. You have to do these things with trickery, with a sense of dark art in your mind, imaginatively. Just do it professionally with trickery. But we do it brazenly in front of the refs, and think we can just walk away with that. So discipline still needs to be instilled in this team. Bagavia, David Raya, in as much as we want to critique these players, let's bring in David Raya, for critical appraisal, man. I mean, I was in Sarkazin TV last week, and I told TJ, I told Cam, who was down there, Vater was in the charts, another guy I respect, and Flawless was down there, and I said, if David Raya continues with these saves, man, this guy could actually be in the same breath if Arsenal wins a title this season at the end of the season. This guy could be mentioned with the likes of Edison and Allison, a world class goalkeeper. What do you think, man? Yet again today, showing his class. See, I remembered when he came to this team. Yeah, I said, let's give him a chance. Many Arsenal fans said it was waste of money. We don't need him. It was a useless buy. But right now, and I think their mouths are shut. I think they would hide behind the curtains while David Raya is making these saves. Uh, they would hide their mouths. They'll take that punch in the mouth. They'll take it in the jaw and say it's okay. Yeah, just give me that blow. I'll take that blow, even if it's a low blow. I'll take it. I'll take that punch in the mouth and swallow that one because David Raya's performances have been so amazing this season. Just came back from European Championship. He's a winner. Displaced the Spanish first choice goalkeeper recently. Came back. He's looking good. He's looking fresh, making all the saves, commanding his goal area, playing the ball from the back. He looks more confident. His goal saves are amazing. Just made the save of the deep. Bro, I've never seen a goalkeeper that makes a penalty save and goes for the killer again, instinctively against Atlanta like that, in that fashion, in that manner, saving his team. I mean, at the end of the season, if he wins a major trophy, this guy should be called world class. How about that? I mean, we have all these people and sports fans calling Vicario a world class goalkeeper. Let's don't act as if these Man City fans, Manchester United fans, and these Chelsea fans don't look at Vicario as a world class goalkeeper. What if David Raya literally wins a major trophy at the end of the season? What would stop us from calling him a world class goalkeeper? Not after all this saves bag. Stop these people.
yeah. I mean, his saves have been fantastic. Even that. I think it's going to take something special to beat David Raya, man. I'll tell you. Like, I mean, you saw that after Ramsdale got taken out of the team. There was always it's going to take something special to beat like David Raya. Even the last goal at the end,
Mm.
he anticipated it really well. He anticipated he anticipated it really well. It was the I think it was like the rebound after that. That
Without
well,
Raya, they score like they put at least 4 or 5 goals to the back of the net today. Without David
so,
Raya, let's be frank, they score 4 or 5 goals today.
yeah,
I couldn't believe the amount of saves this guy had. I
the one thing
couldn't believe
about
it's
the one
like
thing
a
about
story from a playbook. I can't believe the story. I can't believe the end.
the one thing about when
It's
people talk
shocking,
about
man.
goalkeepers,
David
the one
Raya
thing
is our savior yet again.
so the one thing when people talk about goalkeepers, I feel like very few people know how to judge goalkeepers. Quite frankly, because it's like such a unique thing.
Mm,
I feel like certain people know like what's up when a keeper is bad, but I feel like the small margins that it takes to be a good goalkeeper, I think very few people actually like really get it. So sometimes I think it's like easier to pick on the
yeah.
keepers because I think like there's just something with keepers where it's like you see keepers fall off so easily. So as soon as like something bad happens, like
Mm,
people just get on them. But certain keepers are really good. Like you just know it. But in terms of like the criticism with Raya, like could it be world class? Yes, that's the only way that's done is like you have to go to the length of time with that. The bigger the
t-
games, you have to show it in the biggest
bag,
games.
bag of bag of bag of. I mean, bag of yeah. They are calling Nick Pope the bag of yeah. Let's be truthful and factual. We
Yeah,
have all these pundits here calling Nick Pope a world class goalkeeper. They're calling Vicario a world class goalkeeper. I know David Raya hasn't won anything in the Premiership, but man, this saves, yeah, this saves are legendary. I mean,
yeah,
they're legendary and they're lethargic. At the end of the season, if Arsenal manage to win, I don't think we'll win a major trophy. But if we manage to win a major trophy, man, we better be putting David Raya as the star of this league
oh
campaign
yeah,
if we do pull
yeah,
off something from the dust this season, man. He should be at the top of the story. He should be the one to be called a world class player. I don't care about Starboy and the rest of them. He should be the star of the, he
oh yeah,
should take center stage with the
yeah.
praises and the accolades because after those saves, man, oh my days,
I mean, go
I
get the
can't believe it, man. I can't.
go get that. Have you seen the goalkeeper kit? It's nice actually. The goalkeeper kit's actually kind of nice.
The
People are
kid
start
is
buying it
nice, man.
more.
I mean,
No, no,
I
I'll
could
be.
just buy an Arsenal jersey right now
It's a
and
good.
put
It's a
David
good.
Raya's name at the back, and it would be good. Everyone would feel my pain because, to be very sincere with you, yeah. Apart from our two centre back pairing and maybe Benjamin White and Duran Timber this season, David Raya has looked the best player in that Arsenal team this season. He's the
Yeah,
most consistent.
yeah,
And the way he's churning out the saves, yeah, I mean, it's a total no brainer. I don't know where he came up with it because not this kind of quality came with from Brentford a year ago. He didn't come with this kind of attitude, with this kind of never say die attitude, go getter attitude, this brutish, aggressive goalkeeper ready to latch onto any kind of ball that comes around him. But I didn't see that aggression. I didn't see that. I didn't really see that. I didn't see that grit from him. But lo and behold, I'm seeing these saves, and he's just looking like the Flash, getting all these balls here and there, and saving Arsenal yet again. Multiple matches, man. We should have shipped in lots of goals. This guy's saving us. Man, accolade to him. See, yeah, my brother Don T says, yeah, I'm more angry at the fact Allen threw the ball at Gabriel's head and not even VAR got involved. Bag of, you could see we're covering lots of things down here
yeah,
in a very fast manner. Look at that Doku stuff, yeah. He kicked the ball away. The referee did not even call for a yellow card. Good, no problem. Throw that all away. Haaland throws the ball on the head, not even on the body, on the head
yeah.
of Gabriel. Nothing was done. Not even a yellow card. See, yeah, I'm really concerned about refereeing. We already know that refereeing is shit. I know it's a bigger topic, it's a wider topic, but I mean, why is Arsenal always at the back end of horrible decisions? So why always us? Why can't I don't know, why can't it be any other team in a more consistent basis? The way Arsenal is getting it, why is it always us? I mean, that doesn't excuse our performances. In recent times, our performances have been shit. We literally did that to ourselves. We didn't do good business, and we're reaping the rewards of that. But again, you have to call this refereeing issues. You have to call a spade at some point. Baggers, take it away.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it is easy to hate our team. Supposedly Holland did more than that, by the way. Supposedly, he was he disrespected like Miles Lewis Skelly, actually.
Mm,
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm like, all right, yeah, you know what? It takes a lot to go on that field and be competitive. So sometimes I'm like, whatever, it's competitiveness. I'm pretty sure, but like, you got to be careful when you're like someone like Holland, though. You still like, you don't want like uh,
mm,
people look at that guy like as a sportsman. So, am I pissed about it? Not really. I think with the Arsenal, the way it comes down to is we're coming for what they have. So we're going for when you're going for the
mm.
Kings, like you got to figure it out. So I think that's part. I think that's part of it too with like Arsenal
You
in
got to
games like
figure it out.
yeah, you got to figure it out. And I think like with the refs, it's like we do like we're that team where I mean they expect people expect us to be a no nonsense team. It doesn't matter what happens. Like we're just supposed to sit there and take it. Sometimes you want to like be like what is it? What's that word? Belligerent back at it. Like you want to be like you want to show a little bit of fight
Mm,
and like
yeah,
feel like. But the thing is
yeah.
like. At the end of the day, like there's stuff that we got to do better. We obviously got to show up better in these games too. So, um, for me, the
I
refs
mean,
decisions.
I mean,
Listen,
Hendo.
my thing with the refs is always this. In the league, I don't care about the refs. Quite frankly, I feel like it does even itself out. You have 38 games, right? You have 38 games. So across the board, I just don't care. Like, don't tell me one refereeing decision like gets you one bad refereeing decision.
I know, but with Arsenal,
Gets
it's
your
a
title.
consistent
That's why I don't.
bag of when you
If it
say
was the Champions
see
League,
bag of
if it was
yeah,
the Champions
when you
League,
say
if
it's gonna
Champions League,
ba- bag of I have a problem with that statement. When
yeah,
you say it's gonna balance itself out, no, it's not true. I don't believe that. I don't
you don't
believe
believe
that.
it. Okay.
Yeah, it could be shared abroad, but why is Arsenal's lot more consistent than others? That's why I have a problem. I know it's shit. I know we shouldn't complain about, but Arsenal's lot, it's like we're cursed with referees hurting us. And it's not just only one ref. All the whole refs try to, try to take the piss at us. And I'm not having it. I know
No,
Arsenal have contributed to the problems. We are our bigger problems. We haven't done good business. We haven't brought in players.
yeah,
We're not managed properly. We have a shitty manager. I do believe that. But again, we have to call a spade, man. It's becoming more consistent. Look at what Hendon gonna said here. He said, "Don't kick the ball away right in front of the referee." Where was the VAR team to notify the ref? Like there was when Declan Rice ball kicking incident. Exactly. So Arsenal bears the brunt more painfully and more consistently in a more consistent basis. And that's where I'm forming my argument. If Arsenal is going through this refereeing decisions, this bias refereeing decisions, in a maybe not so consistently, maybe once, twice in 3 weeks, once, twice in 4 weeks, it balances itself out throughout the end of the season. I get that. When you make your arguments like that, I could see reasons why I could believe that. But why I can't really believe that right now, and the evening and the balancing of the whole thing, is that with Arsenal, it's a never ending story. It's a continuous process to actually piss at the face of Arsenal. we don't have no breathers. Declan Rice is just coming back into the team. Thomas Partey just got carted out. Trossard just got thrown out of the game. Kelly, who was outside, in the touchline area, was yellow carded for just speaking his mind. I mean, it's becoming a more consistent assault on Arsenal, and it hits me emotionally, you know, in a very, very incendiary way that I don't like. For other teams, it's not like that because they only have to bear this refereeing inconsistencies once or twice in 3 4 weeks. Arsenal is a never-ending story. I can bet you there will be a bad decision next week from a Lego head tomorrow,
Yeah.
next week against Arsenal. Next week, I'm very sure I can bet on that.
Yeah. So I
Bagav, you
mean,
better start explaining why you
uh,
think this is gonna even out.
uh,
Bagav, how is this gonna even out? Because you said it's gonna balance itself out. How is it gonna even out when the decisions are always on a consistent basis biased against Arsenal? How is it gonna even itself out throughout the season? I want to hear your
so
arguments. I do like arguments.
so last year, our net goal score that we would have gained if like decisions were a certain way was zero. Like I mean, there's an article
Mm,
online that they looked at like all the decisions, the team that was affected. So we had 9 overturns last year. Like people VAR like overturned stuff like 9 times.
mm,
Uh, we had one rejected overturn. We had two goals.
yeah.
We had 2 goals and then we had 2 goals disallowed. So Garnacho had like a offside and they disallowed his goal last year.
Mm,
Um, I remember that one actually. We had
yeah.
so we had Martinelli's goal disallowed, which he scored against Everton. Then we had like so
Yeah.
over across the
And they
board.
issued
Across the board,
apologies for all these goals. They
uh,
issued
uh,
apologies.
yeah. So like the worst one was I think the team that was most affected was Fulham, and then Forest. Forest and Fulham were like the most affected last
Mm,
year. So I don't know. Like for me, with the Champions League, I'm like, all right. If you make refs that make decisions in the Champions League, the issue with that is there's only 8 games. So that's the difference with the Champions
mm.
League is like 250 million. That's about like it's a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
With the Prem, I feel like it does even itself across time. That's the only reason I say that. But with that said, the standard of English refereeing that's always going to be up for debate. I think it's just the procedures are way different compared to other leagues. The trainings are very different. That I know it's hit home more, and you can probably talk about
Yeah.
that more. But you're right. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I complained about
Definitely.
that.
Hendon
I've
gonna
complained
say.
about I've complained about this with you. It's like England is like the home of the sport, right? Like so, you'd expect the best referees to come from that nation. So
Yeah,
they
you
better.
said that.
I've said. I mean, it
Yeah,
is. They
exactly.
spread the game everywhere, and then you have the worst refereeing in
It
England.
is. I agree.
Like it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
It's garbage, man. It's completely shit. Hendon Gunner is down here. He says, "Don't see. I totally agree. Arsenal players don't help themselves, but when opposition players do similar, why aren't they punished too? All I ask is consistency across the board." And you're right in saying that, Hendon Gunner. I totally understand where you're coming from because that's the same thing I'm asking for. I'm not saying don't give bad decisions to Arsenal. You can, no problem. But make it a more consistent one. At least, bro. If Doku is kicking the ball out, PG Moore or whoever is in that VAR room who's blind to see should be able to, to see. Yeah? Ask Jesus for healing. Open your eyes and get to see that one and report it immediately. The same way they reported the Glen Rice one. Like, let there be consistency across the board. I know Arsenal has been problematic. Managerial sense in the way we handle our business, we are at fault with what's going on. I get that. But again, let this thing balance out. Let it balance out. Let everyone, share in, in consistency or in the inconsistencies. Why is it only Arsenal week in week out? But again, let's throw that all away. Hendon Green says good evening. You've already been here, my brother Hendon. See, back just before we go, yeah. In 5 games, Manchester City leads the table 13 points. Liverpool second, 12 points. Aston Villa in 5 games, 12 points, 10 goals scored, 7 conceded, and they're in third. Arsenal is in fourth position, yeah, with 11 points, 8 goals scored, and at least 3 conceded. When you look at this table, if I'm correct or if I got it correctly, do you think that Arsenal, is going to be swimming with the sharks when it comes to, the D-Day? Do you think we'll be swimming with the sharks in the top two, top three, trying to jostle for this position of winning this title? Do you think we'll still be in, in that conversation in the next 3, 4 weeks? Mind you, we've been able to stay undefeated against the top four, the Man City this season, of course, at the Etihad, which of course is a very deadly place to go to. We've managed to keep a draw down there. Good, okay. We'll rally troops. We'll come back next week. We'll go again. No problem. Uh, Aston Villa defeated away from home. Big win. They were top four last season. Two top four teams. Arsenal have snatched points away from them. Good and okay. No problem. Arsenal drew against Brighton. Yeah, we took points, maximum points away from Tottenham Hotspurs and in their flamboyant Wahat Lane situated stadium. Good and okay. Yeah, top six teams that will snatch point away already this start of the season. Kudos. Do you think this next wave of teams that we face is more of a breather for Arsenal and more of the kind of games you would say Arsenal go and have, just go and beat these teams and have 10 straight games and just go on from there. And until the next time we might have a bump in the yard, might be maybe against the Liverpool or something. But right now, do you think it's, we're at that position where we could say, you know what, yeah, we can have a breather right now and just go on this flurry of wins and grab that 10 game unbeaten run and extend our run and eventually get to the top of the table. Do you see that coming up right now? Having
Yeah,
faced this tougher oppositions in our first 5 matches.
yeah, I think like the first 5 matches were always like people looked at that and it's like the great thing is like the Etihad game was early. People were saying like the Etihad game being early was like a good thing for us because then
Hmm.
compared to like the second
Hmm.
half of the season. For me personally, I think I've told you this before. It's like
Yeah.
in the biggest of games, I just want to win. I don't care about like the performances. Just win. That's what big teams do.
Yeah.
I like just win because like if you
Mm.
beat your rivals, the performances have to happen in the smaller teams because you're expected to do that. You're expected to put on shows in like the smaller performances. The bigger ones, like it can be even. They can be more competitive. They just tend to be more competitive and tendencies, players, and stuff like that. So I just want to win in those things. I don't care. Like
Yeah.
with our schedule coming up, I still think we have to look forward. So with Bolton, I want to see Sterling and like Noneri start that game. See what they. I want our players to get a rest. I need our players to get a rest because last week was grueling, man. Last week was really grueling. So in that sense, like
I
give them a
mean,
rest.
Mikel Arteta should be able to. Mikel Arteta should be able to boss up, yeah, and start believing in the players he's got.
Yeah,
I mean, Arsenal registered, yeah, the not the week. I don't want to be, I don't want to over exaggerate things, yeah. But Arsenal, Arsenal named, the least amount of players in the league. I mean, our team sheet is more smaller. I mean, we're the smallest team compared to every other team in this league right now. So we don't have options abroad the table. We haven't brought quality into the team. we're looking more small, and it's looking more smaller and smaller each week we play. The players are, they're going down, they're getting injured. I mean, bag of man, is this
No, we could be
sustainable, man? Is this
uh,
sustainable in any way?
whoever's on the pitch get the 3 points. That's how we built this team. That's what I keep saying. I don't care. Like, so when people complain about injuries and stuff, I'm saying that's the way like we wanted to be for a while, and that's how we built this team like for a while, because we used to have teams that show up. Our first team used to show up and have no fight in these games. You have to remember that point. It was only what 4 years ago, right? What 3 4 years ago? Our
Mm,
first team would show up at the biggest of
yeah,
games and have
yeah,
zero
three,
fight.
4 years.
Yeah, so in that sense, like with this team, like we built it in a way where people can fill in for like different positions. Now to get to that killer
Mm,
stage, because Man City deals with injuries also on the regular. Like they've had like a
yeah,
title,
definitely.
so just show up, just show up. So just show up. Our attack, I think, is going to go up and down. I already have a feeling like our attack's going up and down, and that's the biggest like concern right now is
Yeah,
because we have
yeah,
not.
exactly. And I wanted to actually link those injuries to
Yeah,
Mikel Arteta having to bust up to introduce the guys we have on the bench. I mean, you decided to go to Chelsea. I'm not a fan of going to Chelsea and getting their dead feet and bringing them to Arsenal Football Club. But this is where I have a problem. If you're going to Chelsea to bring those dead players or whatever they are, make sure that they're helping the team. Make sure they have a stake in this team. Make sure you have the belief in them because you brought them with Arsenal's funds. Like, are we this brain dead in this football club that we don't
yeah,
want Sterling to play? Are we this brain dead in this football club that we don't want to see Waneri come in and and have a go? I mean, come on, man. Mikel Arteta should boss up, in the coming game against Bolton and actually dare to put these players in. I don't want to see some certain players play this game. Let Jorginho come into the fray. Let Kelly come into the fray. Let's use Kivio into the fray. I don't want to see two centre backs that have been carrying our backs, yeah, all through the season and put them in that Bolton game to go into a scrappy duel with these Bolton players who want to scrap because Bolton is going to come scrapping. Don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. They're going to come to scrap and come to see, bro. They're coming to scrap with us, man. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a dog fight. And I don't want to definitely the best defensive partnership in the whole of Europe for me to go to a duel or to a scrap with boats and pieces. I mean, I'm not a bourgeoisie, right? But I
yeah,
mean, there's levels to
yeah.
there's
There's
levels,
level. Uh,
from Arsenal defensive. I mean, come on, man, come on, man. The peasants to the kind of
yeah,
bourgeoisie we
yeah.
have in in the
Some
in
people
that
won't get
centre
that
back
though.
play. Come on, man. Let's don't do
Yeah, some people won't.
right?
I don't know. Some people won't get that unless you like lived unless it's like you lived it up. Like there is definitely classism
Yeah,
for a reason.
yeah.
Like
Mm,
it's not like you're not wrong on that.
mm.
My thing with this is listen, we're not royalty. I know everyone thinks like we're a big club, etc. But like people in Europe is like what have you done in Europe? Every year you just come here and like uh,
Mm,
you haven't done anything. We
yeah,
haven't done like enough in Europe. Like we have the same coefficient as
yeah.
Atlanta, by the way, for a reason. Like so
That's a
people, there's
that's a bigger conversation itself.
uh, I mean,
That's a bigger
we
conversation.
don't help ourselves either. We don't help ourselves with our European performances either.
Exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
but for the most part, with our team, I look at it like this: it's uh, we have potential, right? Could we? You're asking if we could be like Premier League challengers. I think we can be. It's just a matter of like there's certain teams that could get hot though. Like there are certain teams that could get hot. Like Chelsea. Like say what you want about Chelsea, they've had big scores and like
Bag of, I want to win the league. Bag
yeah
of, see, yeah. we just challenged 2 seasons back to back. Like that,
Well, yeah, what are you
it has
talking about?
come to
That
that
that's a different
crescendo.
story.
It has
That's a different
it has
story.
welled up to a crescendo that I don't need challenging again. I
No, I
want
want
to
to win
win
it.
the big thing, win
Yeah,
the
this has to be
trophy.
the year.
I'm thirsty for the trophy. I want to win the Premier League. How about the Champions League bag of I mean, I know you're in that shoe because I know you love the Champions League. See ya, guys. Me and Bag of will be back, yeah, for one of these Champions League games, yeah. We have Oregon Goonies here.
What's up, man? What's up?
Nice
What's
shirt,
up?
bro.
It's actually,
Oregon
I will
Goonies.
say,
We're
this
about
got to
to go,
be,
and Oregon Goonies here. Oregon Goonies.
What's
yeah,
up?
good.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
man. Oregon Gooner, man. Nice to see you. But Bagav, I'll let you get off what you wanted to say. Bagav, say what you wanted to say, man.
Yeah, so my thing is like, all right, so this year's Champions League format is different, right? So the biggest difference now is like squad rotation is mandatory. Like the biggest thing is squad rotation, and Arteta sucked at the squad rotation for like years. So he has to figure that thing out because there's you're gonna play 2 games. You're gonna play 2 games pretty much a week and high intensity all the way until like December, all the way until December. So um, it's important that he get his squad rotation right. Can we compete in the league? It's gonna depend. Our attack has to pick it
Yeah.
up. We got to figure out what's wrong with our attack. So until that happens, but our defense is gonna
But,
keep us in there though. So I think we could do it.
but
I think we could do it.
Bagav, ba- Bagav, when you say, I know I will go to Oregon Gooner, yeah.
Yeah,
When you say you don't know what is wrong with our I mean, I'm sorry for using this word. I think that's hypocritical, of the highest order. Like, it's not like you don't know. Well, you know the problem. Mikel
yeah,
Arteta, he didn't go to buy that striker. I mean,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, so when you say like you don't know, we have to figure out. There's no figuring out to do in the middle of the Premiership season. We failed to do what we ought to do.
yeah. That's a
We
that
failed to do what we
conversation.
ought to do.
That
Trust me,
conversation.
Wagner,
Yeah,
with a striker, this game could have turned out differently today. With a striker, it could have turned out differently. So when you say something like, I will give you the chance to defend yourself,
yeah,
about that before we go to Oregon and Gune. I mean, so when you say, you don't know what has happened to our attack, and we have to figure that out. There's no figuring out to do in the middle of the season. We fluffed our lines. We didn't bring in a striker with dead food. And I mean, it's not leveling up. So I know you've complained about the striker problem. So when you say in the same breath that you don't know and we should try and figure it out, and we can't figure that out because we don't have the resources to figure that out in the first place unless we go and tap into the free market. And there's no players right now in the free market that can come and bail us out. So it's a failure, complete breakdown in the management of this football club, complete breakdown in the manager's assessment of what are our problems and getting players in priority areas to take us forward and move us to the next step. Bagav, we have to come to the realization that we can't get to the next level with what we have in attack right now. Look, just look at Erling Haaland. 10 goals already this season. Already this season, man. And we've not even clocked six before the cock crowed 6 times. This guy has
yeah.
already hit 10 goals. Let's not talk about assists. I mean, come on, let's not. I mean, let's not do this, man. Let's be truthful and factual in the whole thing. If you said something like, okay, our attack is shit. Let's just hope that our defense carries us to January where we can go and get a striker. I would say, okay, good. Maybe that's a decent argument. But when you say you don't know, and maybe our defense, how many times will Gabriel come off our defense and bail us out? Do you think he will do it every day? Because now it seems like we're not getting goals from open play or from our strikers or from our attacking outlets. It seems like it's our defenders bailing us out. For how long, Bargav, will our defensive outlets keep bailing us out? It won't be forever. Bargav, the defend yourself because I like people.
Yeah.
Normally, I would have gone to Oregon Gunner. I like people defending themselves. Defend yourself before Oregon Gunner takes us through a tour. Roy thought today.
No, listen, like all of summer, I think every single day, like in the summer, I banged on the drum that we might have not, we haven't done enough. Like every single week, I was in a chat, like, and I'm like, we need a striker, we need a striker, go figure it out. Got shot down by some people, and now they're complaining that and now that they're complaining the opposite way, which happens every year. But we have to work with what we got. That's just the way that's just the way the season is right now. So my thing with our attack is Havertz. We chose Havertz
Mm,
to be our striker. If he gets my criticism is like the tactics though with Arteta. There has to be some games. Havertz should be like the focal point, and people should be passing into him. I haven't seen people play through him. Uh, and then there's sometimes I think like Gabriel Jesus who hasn't even like we haven't because he's been injured, like he's been in and out. I think he has to. There's certain games he can impact. Now with the rest of it, it's the creativity
mm,
from the wings is what I worry about. What I really worry about is the creativity from the wings. Um, with Odegaard, like I still strongly believe like we can get creativity going. I just don't know when it's going to show up. I think it's going to be up and down in that sense. But you're right. The striker thing we can't do anything about. I can't do anything about. You needed somebody on the regular who can put the ball in the back of the net.
yeah,
Goals is the hardest thing. Goals is the hardest thing. So we haven't done enough
I
in
hear
that
you.
sense. Figure it
I
out
hear
though.
you.
Figure it out though. Like I mean,
I get
that's
you,
not an
man.
excuse.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
not an excuse. Figure it out for
Yeah,
the
nice
manager.
that you could clear that up. Yeah, yeah. I just wanted you to clear that up, and I believe
Yeah.
Oregon Gunner understood when I said that because we're out here shouting for attacking reinforcement, and we can get none. Oregon Gunner, you of all people, you know them, yeah, because I knew how you would feel when you saw Erling Haaland score that goal. I knew how you would feel Oregon Gunner when you saw Erling Haaland score that goal. You'll be fuming, man. I could just picture you, man. Yeah, and you'll be fuming in that room where you're watching that matchup. And I knew in the back of your head you'll be thinking, "Oh my God, if we did bring a striker, we'll be doing justice right now." Oregon Gunner, take us through a tour of what you thought about this matchup today. Me and Bagiv, we've done justice to this. Actually, me and Bagiv had see. I love this show with Bagiv today. It has been amazing, man. We covered lots of topics, and he's been a good sport today. And Bagiv brings the heat too. So I like how he analyzes his own brand of football. But Oregon Gunner, you're my brother. Talk to these people, man. What do you think about today's game? Me and you will be doing justice next week also, on our own private show. But I want you to just talk us through what you felt about this in lighter terms.
Well, thanks for getting on. I know I'm really late. I just got back from the airport picking up the wife from California. So thanks for having me on. Just thought I'd see. I saw you guys were on. Just
Mm,
thought I'd jump on a few minutes. I don't want to take up all your guys' time. But Trossard lost us the game today.
mm,
Trossard is at fault today. And because here's why. They were there for the taking on the outlet when we were defending in the second half. If Trossard doesn't go off, that left side is full, right? Kyle Walker had acres of space to move the ball up, keep going up and over in the second half. So the first half I thought was really just kind of a wash, to be honest. I mean, the goal, I was upset, an easy through ball by Savio to Holland, and the marking was off. And, we knew that something like that was going to happen, I think, as Arsenal fans. We knew he was going to score at home. So I was upset, but I wasn't surprised. But the Gabriel goal, I thought, okay, we are like back in
mm,
this, we are back in it, right? And then of course the Calafiori goal. It's like, yeah, we were back in it. I was excited. But Calafiori, that was really only his best highlight of the game, obviously, was put in the back of the net. Other than that, he was getting smoked by Savio. But then, of course, Gabriel comes through, and then we go all defensive in the second half. And I got to say, guys, that was a superior defensive performance in the second half. That was some of the best defending I've ever
mm,
seen Arsenal do in the 25 years that I've been watching them. But with that said, if we had Trossard still on the pitch or someone there on that left side as that left striker in the 4-4-2 formation, I think we
mhm.
could have hit them 3-1. I really do. I think they were there for the taking for 3-1.
Yeah,
If we
yeah,
if You know, I mean, he
Mm.
took Saka out for Ben White to put 5 in the back, and that made sense. But once he did that, I thought we lost the game, right? I thought they were going to score 2 goals, right? I really did. And then, of course, you know, we went to a 5. Well, we went to an 8-1, right? It wasn't even a 5-3-1. It was an 8-1, right? With Havertz just roaming around up there, which I thought he was fantastic today in the
Yes.
second half. I thought he was horrible in the first half, but he did the job he's supposed to do, which was just bully the center backs, right? He had 0 passes today.
Exactly.
0 passes today. And that's okay for games like this
Ah.
because City weren't giving anything away. I wasn't expecting Havertz to score. I was expecting Gabriel to score today. I was expecting Gabriel to score, which he did, and I was expecting possibly Saka to show up. But he didn't get really the chance to because he got hooked in the second half. Or hooked at halftime for the second half for Ben White. So all in all,
but again, when you say hooked, did he do anything to even warrant to stay there? He didn't do anything.
Rice were the most,
completely dropped.
Him and Rice were ghosts.
Killing him off is actually good.
Yeah, I thought Rice was very today. Saka was extremely average today, and that's what we talked about last time, Tony. Is what player is going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and push him forward? It sure as hell wasn't Rice today. It was Party. Party, I thought, played really well today.
True.
You know, Declan Rice, I think, is still kind of finding his feet out of the Euros. I don't know what his deal is, but he was very average today. I mean, but I got to give everyone high marks, though. For their bad marks in the first half, I got to increase for the second half because even though we didn't do anything, we had like 5% possession. I mean, that was a masterful class low block. The ball hits Raya, it hits his foot, and it goes in. You can't do anything about that. From up till that last second, we were absolutely flawless defensively. But like you guys said earlier, I believe that is not going to win us games. I believe defensive football leads to draws, right? Defensive football leads to draws, in my opinion, because you're not scoring. Like I said, you're not scoring goals, right? If you're going to come into a defensive shell, you have to expect to lose or draw, right? I mean, we had a couple opportunities there. I thought Jesus skinned Bernardo Silva twice in the end, and we had some opportunity maybe on that left-hand side after Jesus. I thought Jesus was really good when he came on, actually, to solidify that left side. He skinned Bernardo Silva twice for the ball, but we couldn't make anything out of it. And again, that's Trossard's fault for being stupid and kicking the ball away. Like, bro, the whistle blows, walk away. We said that on your show, Tony. Walk away.
Walk away. It's bro, literally, me and Bag have talked about this. Like, literally, we talked about this. Walk away. Just walk away.
Walk away. You're a ref. The whistle's blown. The forward play is done. The state of play, the passage of play is over. The whistle's blown. Walk away. That's all you got to do. Go back into your defensive position. But no, you got to kick the ball away because you're upset for a foul that wasn't even a yellow card. He got the yellow because the dumbass kicked the ball away, and it cost us because he could have been filling that left side. He could have held up a ball for Havertz. He would have flown right past Diaz. It would have been 3-1. I'm telling you guys, he fucked us today. It would have been 3-1 today if he would have stayed on the pitch.
No, you make an interesting point because my issue I had was we weren't alleviating pressure, right? So you should put Sterling on. You should have put Sterling on and at least had like some sort of outlet. So you were right on that one because put somebody up top and like get the ball out of there because we were defending. We gave our defense. We gave Raya no breathing space. We gave Raya no breathing space throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Diaz, but here's another thing, guys, to think about.
That's why I called that an assault. It was an assault on our, on our post.
They had 33 shots, 11 on goal.
Clear straight assault on our post.
So, the other thing, too, guys.
Oregon Gunnar, you said something. I just want to pick.
Okay. You want to pick?
Oregon Gunnar, I want to pick out something from what you said.
Sure.
There are clearly some things you said. Calafiore. Yeah. And you said apart from his goal today, he was being cooked today. I agree, he has been cooked. But
Yeah,
again, aren't
I
we
get it.
forgetting that this guy just came from Italy? How many
Yep,
games has he started since he came?
not many.
I mean, let's don't act as if this league is the league you come to, and then with snap of the
No,
fingers you just acclimatize into the whole thing.
right.
Come on,
But
man.
there was
Lots of
no,
big time players have come here and their heads are being cut off. I mean, ask
right.
Koulibaly, ask Kamaka, who scored lots of
I
goals in
gotta
Italy,
I
came
gotta
down
call it how
here
I see
and
it. Though.
West Ham had to ship him back through DHL. West
I
Ham
understand
literally
that, but I
shipped
gotta
him through
call it as I see
DHL
it, bro.
straight,
He
straight
got
down,
cooked by
straight
Fabio
down
today.
to oblivion. I mean, Koulibaly retired. Koulibaly retired when he came
Why are
down
you
to this
talking about
league
here?
from the Italian Serie A. So come on, man.
So
So
you want me
when
to
we're
give
talking
Calafiori
about
right?
Calafiore, I
It was
mean, let's be a
fantastic.
little bit
Best goal he
fair
scored
with
this
him.
season.
I mean, I'm just saying, we can be fair. This is his first start this season. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
okay. And with all of those, like you said, yes, maybe I was a little harsh on him, but you can't. If you're tracking a man, you can't just let him play his through ball to Holland. You just can't do that, right? And he was off the pace a bit.
Mhm.
Savio's a top player. He's the Brazilian national team. I don't know if he starts, but he's a top player. He was the best winger. He was one of the best players at Girona when he was on loan there last season. But the thing is, Tony, is that there's also the other element of the fan base, right? Where it's like we kind of were pictured as, like a third round cup team against the mighty Manchester City FC. And the thing is that we as a fan base
Mhm.
have gotten in our own heads that we can't beat them,
Yeah.
and so right, and it's like
Yeah.
they can be beat.
Yeah.
Holland had nothing in the second half. Nothing after his goal. What did he really do? Nothing.
Nothing.
And we didn't take advantage of that because our mentality
God.
is like a third round cup team. And I heard this on Del Boy's channel with Warren. And it's this
Oh
mentality the
God.
fan
We could
base
have
has
beaten these people today, man. We could have
that
taken
goes
these
on.
3 points and just look good.
Yeah.
Oh God,
You would take for him to see the
why
three
do you
points
have
and
to
been
do
like,
this to us?
oh, the minnows of beating
Back,
the
me and Bagger
Giants.
were talking
That's
backstage
not the
today.
case. We're classy Arsenal.
Me
I'm
and
tired of
Bagger,
hearing
me and Bagger were talking backstage today, man. Me and Bagger were talking backstage today, and Bagger was telling me it was like, see, yeah, Tony, man, that we have to win today, man. City have
yeah,
been on our necks, so all these years. We need this
yeah,
win. That what Bagger was telling me, and deep inside, I felt that from an emotional standpoint because, man, we had to make a statement today. We had to make a
right.
statement today,
We did. I think we
and
did. We
and
did.
just
I mean,
letting
if
that
Josh
that
Rose,
letting that win slip today, man.
if Raya grabs the ball, it's 2-1, bro. I mean, it's one of
Yeah.
those things. There wasn't any mistakes though. Like it wasn't a mistake. The ball
No,
bounced around. They kicked it. It hit off Raya's foot and went in. That happens. It's the cruelest sport in the world, but that's the way it goes. And to Assemble's question, not to like jump in or anything,
Oregon
but
Gunner, answer this question. The assembled asked. Yeah, please answer the question.
sure. I think we lost 2 points because we were in a winning position.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I would have settled for a
Yeah.
draw, but we were in a winning position today. If there was just a little more concentration on the corner kick, I was worried we are going to give up a penalty. That was the thing I was worried about that whole time. Is that someone's going to stick their hand out or someone's going to touch just barely touch them. They're going to Jack Grealish is going to fall down. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have happened that we didn't, right? So, in my point with being up, assembled, it's 2 points lost, but it's a point. It's evened out, right? We're now done with City until they come to our place or Champions League.
Yep.
We don't have to really
Yep.
play them at all. We may not play them again until they come to our house. So overall, being 2-1 up, it's a loss of 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in this team, I'll be telling the City players, you still have to come to our place and deal with us. Like, I mean, they still because they had an extra man for 45 minutes and didn't do
Right. Very
much.
true.
The Holland goal, like you're right, Savio was right on that. The thing with Calafiori that I think it's the way he was packaged to us because I think a lot of the social media impacted like the Calafiori thing with because this guy was like the hair flick master, like pretty much we haven't seen this guy like do much. He goes to like
Right.
France international duty, picks up an injury. Like he is a good player. I'm just saying, like, but the problem was it is a contract. I think we talked about this. It's like ease him into the team after the Timber injury. It's better to ease players into our team than just have them play immediately. I know we want our players to be like show up and like play. I think it's going to take some time to learn the
Yeah,
system and stuff like that.
I
So
was shocked to see California in there. To be honest, you guys, I thought why is Timber can take Savio, Ben White should be fine. He came on in for half the game. He must have been fine. Yeah,
yeah, and Saka should have burned like
DSM,
Guardiola. By the way,
the,
Saka should have burned Guardiola for
the,
yeah,
like that's the
the,
other one.
the, the
Good.
assembled it, bro. It's not about winning mentality, man, bro, man. Did you see
they
what we
showed me
went up against today, bro? It's not about winning mentality, man. That it was grueling, man. You have to be fair
Yeah,
to these players too.
that.
At times, man, it's
That's 45
Trossard's
minutes.
stupidity. Let's blame. Let's put the blame where the blame should go. It's Trossard. Trossard caused this nonsense today. Forget this winning mentality. It has nothing to do when you're playing with Man City with one man down at the Etihad. I mean, throw that all away. Because if this was another team, they would steamroll that team. Our post was under assault from this play. Bro, no breathing space. David Raya, I mean, was bombarded today with shots, direct shots, horrible shots. Man, come on, man. Let's don't do this, man. This
Here's
was
one
two
thing.
points lost. I agree to that. I agree to that hypothesis. But come on, man. It's not about mentality in this one. Because on a good day, Arsenal would capsize and lose the whole 3 points in this kind of games
I
three,
think
4 seasons ago. But
I think
again,
also we saw how many shots
let's see
Diaz was
what we
taking,
have.
right? If Diaz isn't taking those shots, it's Rodri taking those
Mm,
shots, right? And Rodri
yeah,
we know can bang them in from 20 yards. So I think if Rodri doesn't come up injured, that's Rodri at the top of the
hmm
box. And then Diaz had the most shots at the end of the game. Diaz had the most touches in the second half of all players. So if Rodri doesn't get injured, that's Rodri. And
mm,
I'm sorry, he bangs one top bins and it's 2-2 before the end of the game. There's, I mean, we've seen him do
yeah,
it to us three
yeah,
times now. Rodri's a much, much better shooter of the ball than fucking Diaz. Diaz put one in my backyard. So it's one of those things where, I mean, I got to disagree with the Assembled's mentality. What today they showed was winning mentality. We just had a screw up, like Tony said with Trossard. I truly
exactly.
believe we had a player on that left side, or like Bargav said, even Sterling, you know, okay, Trossard gets the yellow card, you take him off at halftime without all shithousery, and you just take Trossard off and put Sterling on. You have someone on that left side to keep Kyle Walker from just walking the
Yeah,
ball back for half. I mean, again, and I have to blame Trossard. And Trossard should be apologizing to the whole players and staff in there tonight. I mean, that's Declan Rice did it, but Trossard literally kicked the
exactly.
ball. Declan Rice just touched the ball. He kicked the ball away. Like, just walk away. Just walk away. I gotta disagree with you, a whole 100% disagree with you, Assembled, that we had that mentality today was there. It wasn't really a switch off. They had a corner, it bounced
Yeah,
around, it
the
hit off his
mentality was there. Let's be fair. Let's be
the
fair.
concentration was there,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. I like to criticize the
People
team
thought,
if there's
yeah,
something bad, but no, no, no,
I'm
no.
upset,
It has nothing
disappointed,
to
but
do with
I thought
mentality. We showed the bigger mentality today with that
they
defending.
did.
I don't agree with that. And they assembled. I'm not saying this to kind of like hit you in any way. You're one of my consistent viewers and supporters. You've really supported me. But again, when there's statements like this, I have to come in and give my own opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm only saying that this is what I think, and it's my own opinion, and I do respect what you bring to the table. So it's all good at this point. But see, yeah, Oregon Junior. I discussed this with Bagev earlier. Yeah, Martin Odegaard is out. Yeah,
Right.
in a more bigger team. Okay, in a big side. Yeah, when there's a big injury to one of the most consistent players, I'm not saying consistent players in terms of ability. I'm talking of consistent players in terms of what the manager puts forward. For the team to play. Yeah, not in terms of
Right.
quality or what he does in the team per se. Yeah, and you have this chance. Yeah, for for all these players to say, "Hey, master, I want to go in there and replace Odegaard. I have the balls. I have the cojones to go
Right.
down there because our captain is injured. I want to go down there and show that I want that place for myself." But again,
Right.
I've watched these three games here that he has played without Arsenal, and no
Right.
one wants that place. Trossard has
Right.
been given that place in a platter of gold. Go down there and show yourself. And then he comes out and shows his ill-disciplined and shows his stupidity for all to see in the biggest of stages. I mean, don't we have anyone who wants to say, you know what, master? Talking of Mikel Arteta, I want that place for myself. I want to take it. I want it. It's all mine. I want it. That's the mentality of a big team player. That's a mentality of a player that wants to actually
Right.
get something, that has that winning mentality. But I'm not seeing any player who wants to cut off the head of the king. No one wants to cut off the head of the king, show it down to the people and say, hey, this is my position. This is it. I've slayed the monster. No one.
Right.
If Martin Odegaard comes back from injury, right now he walks straight into this team with no problem, with ease. Why?
Yeah, he's the
Because no
captain,
one
number one.
has said, I want the goddamn head of the king. Is that the position? And Baga, if you have to conclude on that too, or we're going to take it to
Yeah, so to the assembles point, I think I put Grealish as like I think Grealish is like taking that corner early. I think that was a smart thing by him. So like I put that more on Grealish because he recognized like things were going nowhere and we need to do something different, and he actually took the early corner, and then
Yeah.
that led to the whole thing. But to Oregon's point though, Raya still anticipated the save on that one. Like
Right.
that's how like good David Raya is. Like I think like it's gonna take something. It's gonna take something good. Something. It's gonna take an effort to like beat him actually.
Yeah.
And like when you look at the goals that we criticize him for over the years, it's like the Mudrik one definitely hurt last year. I'll tell you that one. The one where he just got like completely like
Yeah.
flicked on him. But
That
like
was
most of the other goals have it's been really like a lot of the goals that he gives up, they're really world class. Like even the Champions League like goal by Wahi, like that was a
right.
perfect pass,
That was a
and it was a
great goal.
perfect corner. That was a perfect like swerve on that like shot. Like so, it takes something special to beat David Raya. So we're blessed to have him. I think that's
Yeah.
why I say like look at our defense, and I think people mentioned this on past podcasts. David Raya makes our defense look a lot better. Also,
Wow.
like it's a whole team. It's a whole team like how they play together. So,
Yeah.
like I said, go with our defense as long as far as our defense goes, that's how our season goes. I still need the wingers to figure it out though, because Saka, like I said, like he didn't like he should be like taking out Guardiola. Like he should look at Guardiola as a matchup, and I'm like, at some point you want him to take that next mantle and be like, I can score anytime I want, and that's the world class mentality that people question about
Yeah,
Saka.
yeah, and that's the mentality that I think Saka's lacking because if
And
it
yeah,
doesn't work out for him to get it on his left foot and far post, he doesn't know what else to do. He's really a one trick pony right now. But he should have done more today, but didn't get the opportunity, and that's sometimes it comes and it doesn't. But to what Tony was saying, to like for Odegaard to get back in his side, he has to show that he's willing to be that to be that creative force again. I mean, it might not be December, Tony, till we see him, and
no, no,
that's
no,
like I
really,
said before,
does he need to
I'm
show
probably gonna
anything?
miss it that
No,
much.
but again, does he need to show anything? Because the ones that are coming in are not even doing anything. They're like blockheads. Trossard goes in and gives us that stinker. I
He
mean,
should take
if he
it
comes in right now, he doesn't need to show anything. He doesn't
right.
even need to show us that he's practically learned anything. He
I
just
see
has
what
to
you're
show up, come back from injury, and go take your place. No
well,
one
well,
has showed us any
well,
difference.
he's the
Why
captain.
we
Like
should
I
put
said,
them there?
captain. I mean, number one, he's the captain. He's going to walk right back in. If he's fit to play, Arteta's going to pick him.
yeah,
And if we go on a run, like I said of your show, Tony, if we go on a run, let's say till Christmas of actually winning and we're able to score goals, and let's say we're first or second in the table, you got to really look at if Odegaard's out during a good run, what is he bringing? Right? We talked about this, Tony. What is he
Yeah.
bringing out for 3 months, and we keep winning? We basically won without him today. Not to say that he could have done something. He probably could have. The way City were playing today. I mean, the second half.
But I
Who
mean,
knows?
but I mean, it's good. It's good you said that. But again, when you check it, it has been our defense. And again, Bag have also said it today. I forgot the language he used, but he put it in a very slick way. He said Arsenal can only get further in as much as our defense will go further, or something like that. That was a cagey one, but he got his point across, and I really do understand that. But again, our defense have bailed us lots of times this season. If Martin Odegaard comes into play, it can be the only one that can unlock any kind of attacking abilities in that team, or unlock any kind of defense with our
That's where
attack scoring any goals. The ones that are helping us right now are our defenders. Calafiori scored today. Gabriel header. In the matchup against Tottenham Hotspurs, it was our defense. No one can unlock our attack unless Martin
unless
Odegaard
Odegaard,
is there and
you got a
helping
good
us
point.
out to unlock any attacking outlet from open play. We've not scored in open play in
Today
how
we did.
many weeks now. I mean,
No,
let's
Yeah, but
be
no,
fair.
he does go, he does get man marked on in the big games though. Like I just say like
great.
just
I get
because
that point.
like
But
I
what of in
mean
the small games? What of in
yeah,
the small games? You
but
didn't need him in the small games. You don't win the league by just beating the big teams in it. You need
but
you need to you need to create against the small teams too. You need to beat them up. You need to pummel them. You need to get lots of
yeah,
goals. And who does that on a good day? Who creates those opportunities? Who throws those lofty passes and has some trickery up his boots? I don't see anyone with trickery up their boots in his absence right now. No one.
yeah, but
No
we
one.
don't know that though. We don't know that because like the person that so last year his backup was Smith Rowe. He's definitely not getting the Smith Rowe treatment. Like I mean, he practically saved Arteta's job, and he found it difficult to get back in the team. Like we never, but we also could never see what Smith Rowe could be like. Uh, it was pretty much like it was always assumed Odegaard was better. So we never saw Smith Rowe actually play like that. The other part is like Navneri hasn't started yet. So like the people in his position, like no, we have no clue because it's a big mystery. We play like
I mean, Smith Rowe is out now and he's scoring week in, week out. I mean, if we had him in our team, maybe that would have been something different.
yeah,
How about that?
Yeah,
but
well, he scored 4 goals in a Fulham shirt. Let's be real, guys. He's not scored 4 goals in an Arsenal shirt. And
yeah,
he's
I
just
mean, it's a different. I think we expect him to do different things. That's the issue. But like he was at one point scoring stuff, but then we totally scrapped that system.
right.
And then like so Odegaard became like the pioneer for this like system that we have. We have
Yeah.
no clue. So how did we not? At some point, I criticized this last year. Do we have an over reliance on Odegaard? That doesn't mean he's a bad player. People took it
Yes.
like as hate. People took it like hate, but I'm like, I just said like if one player goes, our whole system can't collapse. So
Yes. Yes. I know. I
I
agree with that,
mean,
Bernie.
I mean, I said that. I said that. I
yeah,
said
so
that. I've argued against. See, yeah, me and Oregon Gunner, we've done lots of shows on this. We've talked about Martin Odegaard and what he
yeah,
brings to the team. He does jack shit in some
some
games.
good, yeah,
He's been locked out completely, but
Right.
in some games he shows himself up. He shows up to when you don't expect him to. He does that.
Right.
But again, man, right
He
now
was.
that he's not in the team, I'm seeing that gap. There's no one doing any trickery. There's no one
yeah,
getting into this, getting this, I mean, get into space, creating those,
Yeah.
those. I mean, making those runs. I'm not seeing nothing. I'm like, it's just
Remember, Tony.
drab.
Remember,
It's
Tony. We
drab.
talked after Atlanta, and it's like if you go back to the Atlanta game, even if Odegaard was in that game, he would blend in with the rest of the players who were absolute crap. Right. That's
yeah,
the problem I have with Odegaard. He doesn't really rise to the top.
To
It's
the
either he
top,
has a
yeah.
really good game And if it's not a good game, he just blends in with the other players, and that's where we call him Ghost Guard. Now today, I think there were some opportunities for him, but but then again, who's to say that he just becomes a ghost? And that's the problem I
becomes
have.
a ghost.
We don't know which Odegaard we're going to get week in and week out. And that is inconsistent of our captain, and that's indicative on the manager.
I mean, I keep saying,
go ahead.
The best thing I've seen Odegaard do was that Porto assist, right? Like for me, that's like probably his highlight. Like when I look like
last season,
those passes versus Chelsea.
But the thing,
but you're right.
Again, but again, let's don't act as if this guy won't get us a clear lofted creativity in the middle of the park when we play against teams like Everton, Bournemouth, Ipswich. Come on, man. I get that.
I get that.
I get that. He's gonna do that against this kind of teams. It's not every week
I get that.
Teams like Man City, Liverpool, and all these other big weak teams. Yeah, you will go up against Ipswich. You will go up against Bournemouth. It can create magic against those teams, and literally you have to win those games because it's those kind of games that could allow you go through a train of 10 games unbeaten, 12 games unbeaten, which is quite important when you're going for a title race. You didn't need those kind of players that can unlock defenses and get into thick and deep pocket spaces to create opportunities and open up attacking outlets and free Bukayo Saka to actually have outlets to cut into his left-hand side and just whip that lovely, left footer. You don't need these things, man. But again, I hear you when you say he goes out because we've seen it, we experience it. But I'm not seeing anyone taking the crown right now and away from him. No one is interested. It's an imaginary crown. No one is interested. Trossard is not interested. Not with that performance, man. Sterling, no one believes in him. Why
wait till
Chelsea and buy him?
Wait till Nwaneri.
I mean, Nwaneri, the manager doesn't believe in Nwaneri. No one is ready.
I'm going to start looking at Sterling closer than Trossard because Trossard has dropped some stinkers already this season. Yeah. I always thought he was a good player, right? But to be honest, he's not someone who it would be on necessarily my transfer list, right? He's here.
Great bench player.
He's just not that player for me, bro. Like, I know we got him on a good price, a good discount or whatever, and he had issues at Brighton. But for all it's said and done, he scored some important goals, but he is just not a starter. I don't see like Tony said, there's no one that does the Odegaard stuff of at least getting the crowd riled up or at least doing some creative tricks to at least get something going in attack.
It's dry.
I thought with Trossard, if you're at a 10, and you want more playing time, which obviously he wants, there is an issue with Arteta there. Like, then be the creative guy, and that's what I was trying to tell Tony. It's like the creative. All the players to some level are creative, right? All of the players at some level can get out of one-on-ones. They can flick the rainbows. They can do the tricks and flicks. But it's when they do it and how they do it.
Flip the rainbow.
It's when they do it, right? And that's the thing is Odegaard is
don't allow the movement come for you, Oregon, man. Playing with this stuff. Come on, bro.
We know what he meant. We know what he meant.
Right? All players have an element of that. So that's why I agree with Tony, but I kind of disagree at the same time and say that we need to rely on Odegaard. It sounds like you're saying solely for that creative element. And I don't think that's necessarily true. But then it's more true, but then you become validated in your point, Tony, because I look at stuff like today where maybe an Odegaard could have opened something up, right? And he really does just need one chance to play that through ball.
Exactly. Just
one. But it doesn't.
That's the point. Just one.
They'll be prepared for that. When he's on the pitch, they prepare for that, right? I mean, we didn't have Odegaard. They didn't have KDB. Right, Rodri went out in the 20th minute, and again we didn't capitalize on that.
Capitalize, man.
TJ's chat, I was saying, good that punk Rodri's out, and one of the guys got mad at me saying I want a player injured. I'm like, no, it's competitive advantage, bro.
Yeah, people say
it's competitive advantage. I don't want anybody hurt, but I want to use every competitive advantage I can to win at City. I mean, that's the
Exactly,
mentality of some of these fans. Like, they're worried about a City fan getting hurt. Like, who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit, man? I want him injured and out. In fact, I want him out for like 2 years. What are you talking about? Are this guy serious? I need him out for like 2 years. Are this guy serious?
Calm down, I'm calm. But you're trying you're Arsenal podcast trying to give love to fucking Rodri of all players.
Yeah.
That's a prick.
This guy's blockhead. I need him out. I need him out for like 2 years. What are you talking about? Oh my God.
Cheering on. It didn't matter to me because Rodri's out of the game. Get the fuck out of here. You want to win or not?
Yep.
Because again, I'll say it again. Because if it's not Diaz, you guys, in the second half taking those shots, it's Rodri taking those shots, right? It's Rodri. Diaz sitting back there sucking his thumb because Rodri would be doing all the work in our second half. Right? But Diaz had to step up and be that guy.
I mean,
guys. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Let's do the player ratings before we go. But Bag, if you want to say something before we go to the player ratings,
all right. So people are gonna hate like Oregon Gunner's attitude. I can already tell. But like, think about it like this. Holland just told like Miles Lewis Skelly, "Who the hell are you?" So when you're in that field, it's war. Like people don't care. People legitimately don't care. It's war. Like, I mean,
but again, I felt that was boisterous, man. That was
there's some people that are like that. There are some people that like that.
That was demeaning, man. That was demeaning.
Don't get me wrong, but
He didn't need to do that, man. We know you're a big player. Why?
I'm not praying for like career-ending injuries, but I mean, if he's out for the game, like I'm like,
it's banter,
enjoy.
Enjoy. You're trying to claim my loyalty on fucking like Derby Day, almost Derby Day.
Yeah, people are weird about it. People do that. Go ahead.
Okay, let's start. Okay, let's start with our defense today. David Raya, Oregon Gunner, you start.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
He's not my man of the match, but he put in another 10 out of 10 performance. Or 9.5.
You don't think he's been on the match though?
No, I gotta give it to Gabriel again because of the goal, because of the defending in the second half. I gotta give it to him again, like I did against Tottenham.
Badger, do you agree with that David Raya 10? I mean,
I agree with the 10. I think I agree with the 10. The reason I would give it the man of the match is that our defender still gave up that first goal. Like completely, like that first goal was like such a. It was uncharacteristic, but they gave up like that first goal though, like in a way like I never expected. In a way I didn't expect.
That was a brilliant through ball by Savio. I mean, it was perfectly.
Well, the run was good. The run was good too.
He's looking back. He's pointing where he wants it. And he put it right on the plate for him. I mean, it was a beautiful goal. Yeah. If we would scored it, I would have been jumping up and down.
It was a lot of space. It was a lot of space though. It was a lot of space to like allow though for defense.
Yeah, for one of the first times, I'll be going against what Oregon, because people know me here. You know, me and Oregon Gunner, we're always aligned in some things most of the time, but I have to go against his man of the match. I think David Raya should get that call, man. Oh my days, man. The amount of the Oregon Gunner. Are you seeing the amount of saves this guy's churning out, bro? I mean, see, you don't even need to look at today. That's how bad it is. You don't need to look at today. You need to just go rewatch the tapes from the start of the season. It has been, oh my days. I've been saves. The fact there is that the proof is in the pudding. That's the fact. The proof is in the pudding. It has been from the first game this season. Tapes after tapes after tapes. Legendary saves after legendary saves. You don't even have to go by today. You just have to go by his heroics at Bergamo in Atalanta just the other day.
The ball bounced and just got to John Stones, and then he kicked it and hit off Ray's foot when he died. I mean, he came that close to saving it. I know, and that's what's heartbreaking. You're right. But it wasn't man of the match. Go ahead, Tony.
Did you see that Guardiola snapshot today? The
Yes.
Guardiola snapshot
Yeah.
that was saved by Raya.
Yes.
Bro, other keepers let that ball in. I mean,
That was cool.
he's
Oh
looking
yeah.
good. He's looking in great shape.
But I
He's
gotta give him
commanding his boxes.
because
He's
of the goal.
voicing out. I mean, he's voicing out. He's commanding his post.
Yeah.
He's creating and churning out great saves. Um, he's a ball carrier. He's a ball player in the in the 18-yard box, and I like his arrangement. He's looking good. He's vocal enough. I think he's that guy, and
Right.
I've made this argument for him at the end of the season. If he goes ahead and wins a major trophy at the end of the season, David Raya might be termed a world class goalkeeper by me. I mean,
Well,
I don't care what any other person says because they're already putting Nick Pope and Vicario as world class goalkeepers. I mean,
he won
if
Spain
this
the
guy
Euro.
who was already an European winner already, championship
Right.
winner already, wins a major trophy at the end of the season and he's churning out the saves, Oregon Gunner, there's nothing holding him back from saying
True.
he's a world class goalkeeper. How about that?
I agree. I agree. He took Unai Simon's job from the Spanish national team. Unai Simon was the Spanish goalkeeper from Athletic Bilbao, and Raya took his job and won the Euros. That's how else do you call? What do you consider? I mean, I think Raya needs more games, right? International games and more trophies to call world class. But he's on the precipice of world class. He's probably the second best goalkeeper in the league. I think he's better than Allison. I don't think he's quite as good as Ederson, but I think he's better than Allison in the last 2 seasons, and he's proved that. He's saved more goals than Allison has in the last 2 seasons.
More
So
clean sheets than Allison. More clean
sheets,
sheets than Allison.
yeah, plus his
Although
game goal.
I do think that's a far reach because of Allison have won big time trophies in the last decade. He's
Okay,
won the Champions League.
very
He's
close. He's the
won,
first.
the Premiership. Fair enough, So he's not at that cardio right now. That's why I said at the end of the season, if he wins a major trophy, then we
Gotcha.
can be able to say, okay, he's a world class goalkeeper, and then we can start pitching him amongst the best of the goalkeepers in the Premiership. So I if he wins it, see, yeah, he just came back from winning in the European Championship in the summer. If he
Yeah,
comes down here, wins a major trophy at the end of the season, that's two trophies in a single year, in a single season. One in the European continent, and one in
right.
his local club. If he does that, wins a major trophy at the end of the season, churning out those great saves. I
That's
mean, it
world
could
class.
be it could be the best in his craft in this league. I mean, Edison is up there because of the trophies he's won and his performances, but we can see that he's dropped a tad bit, right? Let's not act as if Edison
Okay.
hasn't dropped just a
Well,
little bit
Allison
in
as well.
pace,
Allison at
a little
Liverpool
bit
as
in
well.
quickness. I mean, he's letting goals in, every now and then. Already they've conceded about 5 goals this season. David Raya has lots of clean sheets and just conceded about 3 goals this season. And I mean, let's be frank with the whole thing. Edison has dropped a tad bit. If David Raya sincerely keeps this churning out the saves, man, it could be something
Yeah.
different at the end of the season, man. Could be a top world class goalkeeper by the end of the season after winning multiple trophies in a single season. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, I might be
Exactly.
going far, but I mean, I'll leave that for you guys to decipher.
No,
I mean, so I've seen Donnarumma, right? So people classify him as world class. I've seen that guy make so many important mistakes. It's like insane.
Mm,
I mean, he's up there. I mean, David Raya is up there. I think for me, like Raya is better than like Donnarumma, but people might not like that opinion. But I've seen Donnarumma mess up like a lot, like for PSG.
mm,
So he's at fault for some of the Champions League failures. So um,
mm.
like in
I
that
mean,
sense,
he has won multiple trophies,
well,
for different
the
clubs
Italy
in France. So
the Italy
you can
Euro,
actually
yeah,
put him up there.
Euro.
So it's not bad if you put Donnarumma down there as a top goalkeeper,
right.
world class goalkeeper in all sense because he's won the big trophy, and that's the problem. Arsenal
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
won
trophy.
nothing. We haven't won jack shit. That's the problem we have. If we've won trophies, then we can be able to look at these players that we have and say, "Oh, Bukayo Saka, you're world class. Raya, you're world class." We can't do any of all those shenanigans right now because they've won fuck all. They've won nothing.
We have no proof to
Jack
back up
shit.
calling anyone world class. Yeah, we don't have the proof to back up calling anyone world class.
Nothing. No
I mean,
proof.
I think
Nothing. No
for me, but
evidence.
Saliba to me is still again on the edge of world class because of his performance in the Euros and the
Yeah.
Arsenal. Let's keep going to the ratings. We can talk about Ray all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, man. Okay,
Keep going.
let's go to Benjamin. Okay, Duran
So,
Timber.
I mean, I don't know how do you rate. All right, so I don't know how to rate this one because okay,
Zero
so
to 10,
he's
just 0 to 10,
so
so that we can go.
I'll probably say I'll probably say 7. I'll probably give him a 7. Like he didn't complete a single pass, and if anything, I think he could have actually alleviated some pressure by like with his dribbling. I didn't see that yet. He's still coming back from injury, so I'll give him a 7.
Mm, yeah,
I agree. I'll give him a 7 as well. Everything he just said. I think he could have done a little bit more, but he was cautious, and he doesn't really play left back much. So I think there was a little bit of cautious there with him. He didn't want to mess up. So I think he looked nervous to me in the first half, but
yeah.
he got his overall a 7. I think that's a very good.
I think we're also still forgetting that this guy is just having his first full season with Arsenal.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be very frank with the whole thing and be fair. This is his first season at Arsenal. Let's not sugarcoat it. You know, he has to stay harmonize with this team, play together with these guys. These are new guys to him. He doesn't know these players. He's just newly playing with them. You know, he got taken off in the first game last season. Yeah, after that, boom, banged off. You know, no games until now. So he came at the tail end of the last season, but of course that's nonsense. Right now he's just starting with the team, and you know, I think he's growing from strength to strength. Let's keep easing him, you know, in that direction. I agree with your bag of an Oregon Gunner 7. Oregon Gunner William Saliba, a bit quiet today, right? But decent
until the second half, until he's kicking everything out of the box in the second half. I'm going to give him an 8. I think him and Gabriel were at fault for the through ball to Holland. I think the gap was just too wide between the two when he found the lane and got in there. I don't think it was Gabriel's fault. I don't think it was Saliba's fault. It was a mutual fuck up. But with that said, he was immense the second half, an 8. He kept them from scoring.
No, definitely. Bag of Gabriel.
So I'd probably have to give him a 9. I think it was just the first. So the thing is, our defense made up for their errors. So you can't be. I don't want to be like that harsh and be like they were absolute trash. But like So and Gabriel had the goal, and then also as a team they did a lot of clearances. So yeah, I'll give them like a 9.
I give Gabriel. I give Gabriel a 10 because of the goal and I mean, the ball to Holland, it was not like his mistake. It was Saliba's. It was neutral. But when we go to City, let's be real, guys. We expect them to score. So, I was upset, right? I was upset because it was so early. If he would have scored the 30th minute or something like that, I'd put it, okay, you know, we give up 30 minutes of fighting. Then Nick won. We got to come back, which we did, obviously. But I was upset at the time of the goal because I thought, oh, shit, here's the 4-0, right? I thought, oh shit, it's going to be 4-0 after he scored that first goal, is what I really thought. But no, Gabriel gets my man of the match today at 10. Again, Raya right underneath him with a 9.75 or whatever, but a 10. The goal mattered. It's the goal that put us in the lead. It's the defending that kept him out. It's the directions he's given. Gabriel has been absolutely incredible the last 3 or 4 games. He got my man of the match against Tottenham. He's been fantastic. And Saliba hasn't been that right behind, but I don't think Saliba is not as aggressive as Gabriel. Like that header today, he wasn't even close to the box. He just ran in, went right past Kyle Walker, headed it with the back of his goal. He jumped in there like Spider-Man, you know, and literally he scored with the back of his head. It wasn't like he just headed it in, right? He jumped and hit the back of his head. But that's the kind of stuff we need. We need people that will sacrifice themselves, you know, their bodies and use that winning mentality to get the goal. How happy were you guys when he scored that goal? You guys were probably jumping out of your chairs, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
And he is
Calafiori.
Goals down. So yeah. Anyway, Gabriel.
Calafiori.
Go ahead,
How about
Bargav.
you, bag of Calafiori?
I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8. I mean,
An
uh,
A. Calafiori
yeah,
A.
yeah. I mean, definitely. Like, I think
Go.
is he our starting like left back going forward?
Probably not. This is his first game he started.
First
So
game,
he
but
scored.
so then I guess like Timber, I guess it's just gonna determine when Ben White gets back. But like, I'd probably still put like Timber on the left.
Right, right.
Okay. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey. Let's do this quicker.
Okay.
Thomas Partey.
Probably 6. He had some good tackles actually. Like
He had some good tackles.
um,
Oregon Gunner.
what,
Thomas
6?
Partey.
I'll give Calafiori a 6. I thought he could have done better in the first half. Thomas
Okay.
Partey, I'm going to give a 7.5.
Yeah, he was quite decent today. He was decent. Defensive display was braver. He was running. He walked his socks off today. The energy, he was just that galvanizing guy in the middle of the park that tried to protect us, but in the middle and coming backwards to help us out too.
He looked much better today than
Great
that.
display. You know, and I think he's coming out of his shell this season because I've not seen those performances from him this season. So he's coming out from his shell, as you can see. Thomas
Yeah.
Partey is that kind of guy that gets better with more games and under
Sure.
his belt. So he's
I-
getting to that position. He's coming out. He's getting better. He's running
getting
more
match
faster.
again.
Yeah, he's getting more
The match
match fit. But most importantly, he's keeping his health quite well and his fitness levels quite high. He's looking good. He's running with speed. He doesn't look like slowing down, which is quite nice. And of course, with the upcoming games becoming more easier in terms of opposition, we're not going to
Right.
be facing Man City next weekend. We're not going to be facing Atalanta next 2 weeks. We're going to be facing the Leicester Cities. We're going to be facing these teams that will come pummel and we could just have
Oh,
a walk in the park kind of so it's just going to be something that we ease the whole tension a little bit, and it can get more better and marshal the midfield more better, mostly in the absence of Martin Odegaard. How about Kai Havertz today, left-sided centre mid?
go ahead, Bargav.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. The next 3 I think are going to be difficult to rate because for a couple of reasons. But I'm probably going to say Kai Havertz is probably going to be a 7 just because I still think he does a lot more stuff off the ball, like he actually does get into it with players. I mean, he's not afraid of the fight. I'll tell you that much. So,
let's thank him. It took out Rodri for us today. I mean, it could have been far worse today with Rodri and that bit. Let's be frank. You see, I'm not like all these Arsenal. I'm not like all these fans that pretend. I wanted the guy out, down and out. I don't pretend. I say what I want to say. I wanted him injured and out, and he helped us did that. If not, we would have been reeling from a defeat today. Just look at without Rodri. Look at the bombardment in our post. If that guy was there today, we're finished. We're done.
He would have scored. He would have scored outside the box today.
He would have scored. Come on, man. Oregon, you know the drill. He would have scored a goal today. So let's don't act as if Kai Havertz didn't do us justice and help
Kai Havertz
Arsenal.
defensively came good too. Remember, Kai Havertz was up front defending, right? So he had to keep Diaz. He had to run to the left. He had to run to the right because of stupid Trossard. If Trossard's in there, he's in center right? He doesn't have to run back, vertically up the pitch, right? I got to give. I want to give him a 6 because I wanted more, right? I just want more from him. But the defensive work today he did, I'll give him a 7 as well.
See, my issue with Havertz is the same. Is like at some point he has to get a goal a game. Like he has to end up doing the Haaland thing. That's. I mean, that's okay to criticize him like that. I've said this since day one. But I don't know what it's going to take for that to happen. Like I don't know where where we start with that.
I mean, Bargav, Tony has made the argument there that's why we're missing Odegaard. Right?
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Someone to open up Havertz to open up that defensive third, but like we said, well, let's go back to what we just said. Is Odegaard always the one to do that? And the answer is no, because he blends in, right?
He blends in and goes down.
We talked about Atalanta, Tony, after the Atalanta game. He would have blended into that game. There was no one in the Atalanta game that wanted to win that game, as far as I know. But I don't want to sidetrack, so let's keep going to the next reviews.
No, it's nice that you got that point across too, because that's the truth, man. Like, imaginatively, you could think about the whole scenario like that. It could work in that way. The
Right,
Odegaard goes too much in some certain matches that you want him to step up, and he just does that, and it's really draining because he's that kind of player that could bring in trickery and the dark arts in terms
right.
of what
And
his skill set,
we
what he
first
has
saw
in him. He
those things.
has that trick in it.
I was defending you, defending Trossard on the last show, Tony, thinking Trossard could be that creative 10,
And
in a
then he
four
comes
four
in and
two,
messes up.
and then he comes in and puts on a stinker. So
See,
he's
man,
not that creative midfielder. He is a winger, right? He's basically he's not a center mid for me anymore. He's had two opportunities to do it. He's done nothing, or three
he's done
opportunities.
nothing.
So he's a
It's
winger
messed up.
and he's an impact
See,
player.
guys, yeah. How about Declan Rice? Guys, I'm becoming concerned. I'm
Yeah,
becoming
yeah.
concerned about Declan Rice.
I got
See,
two
guys, I'm not throwing shade at
right,
most expensive signing. But again,
right.
when you sign a midfielder, maybe not a striker, yeah. When you sign a midfielder, yeah, for £105 million, man.
I
You
expect
deserve
more.
more. You deserve
Yeah,
more in the middle of the park. You deserve a driving powerhouse who goes box to box like a box to box midfielder and gets some certain jobs done. You expect him to pop up in multiple positions, which he does, but he does it in a backward way that doesn't translate into goals or doesn't translate into a more solid midfield that blocks off everything. Things still leaks through his position. He's not fast enough. He's not quick enough at that. I
right.
mean, it's
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 coming,
looking
Tony.
like
It's
that performances.
right.
And I'm sorry, man, you don't need an performance from a 105 million player. I mean, what are we talking about? When we have a £105 million player, we should be talking about something like what a Rodrigo will give to you, what a Hendrick will give to you, what a Vinicius Jr. will give to you. I mean, the 100 million player, come on,
Well,
man, should
well,
do
you're comparing
more.
right now two strikers, basically. But if you compare him to his positions, I mean, I
Yeah.
thought I thought Rice
I mean, but
was.
I mean, but that's striker's money. I mean, what we dished
That's
out
true.
for
That's
him
strikers'
is
money.
striker's
Yeah,
money. So let's be fair. It doesn't matter who we compare with
right,
because that's big time money.
right.
We spent
I
money for
agree with
him.
that 100%.
So
But he
we, so
was.
we
I gotta give
won't
him five
compare him
today.
with players of his likes. We will compare him because of the money we spent for him. That's why we're looking at him. That's why he's in that spotlight. Is the money.
Yeah,
So let's
yes.
talk about him in terms of what other football clubs have spent on big time players. It doesn't matter across the pitch. You spend big time money for a player, give you a big time performance no matter wherever you are. Is
That's
he
your
giving us a big time performance with that kind of amount of money spent?
right, right.
I mean, I'll leave you to answer that question and
No,
give
no, you're
me
right.
his
I'm giving him a
scorecards.
five. I'm giving him a five today. He
Yeah.
was invisible today. He probably had some good plays, but I didn't really hear the commentators call out his name much. I think play kind of passed him by, to be honest. There was a
I
time
mean,
where he was just running backwards. I didn't hear much of him today, so I got to give him a five.
no, I give him a five. I give him a five also. I think he did what he's there to do. I mean, him and Partey like are both CDMs that they're like limited. They're really good CDMs. On the
Right.
attacking sense, you don't expect much. With Partey, he has a good outlet ball. I just don't know what to expect from Rice apart from like defensive work. That's the issue. Like he's still up there in terms of his defense. Still puts him up there. He's not a Chouameni. He's not a
I,
uh, uh,
I mean, I mean,
Bruno. He's not a Bruno
I mean,
Guimaraes. He's not gonna have a shot
how
like
about
Bruno.
being a box to box midfielder for once? How
I don't
about
think
being a
that's.
box to box
I don't think
midfielder
that's
for once?
him. I
How do
don't
we
think
do
that's him.
right now
I
with
don't
that
think
I
that's
mean,
him
lineup?
though.
when we're talking about his roles, why don't we talk about him as a midfielder that can also help us out in terms of opening up
We
play, since
do.
we have Thomas Partey who is down there to shield our defense and shield our back
Right.
four.
Like Tony, even if Rice with Odegaard gone, I think you know this that Rice had to play more defensively. There's just no other real
Yeah.
choice. If Odegaard's out and Rice is up the pitch, box to box, first of all, he's not going to get the ball from anyone because there's no, like you said, there's no creative outlet. And number two, he's going to gas himself running box to box with nothing to do, right? So I think with Odegaard being gone and Rice not being the Rice that we want, or definitely it hasn't shown to be the Rice that he was last season, I think time will come where he will just improve. Again, we're 5 weeks in. It's not really an excuse for the money, right? I get that. It's not an excuse for the money, but I think we are trying to do things differently than we did last season. And he may just, be a little bit lost out there without Odegaard and without Thomas Partey being the runner that Thomas Partey is. So he's having to help Thomas Partey, help Jorginho, right? And that's what we talked about. We didn't want that, right? We want the left side to be Rice so he can get up and down the pitch and make things happen, right? We know he can shoot outside the box. We know he can place a pass, but he can't do that without Odegaard because Odegaard has to be that partner with him up there, right? He can't do it with Partey. Partey has to hang back. He can't do it with Jorginho. Jorginho has to hang back. So Rice is kind of caught in almost like purgatory in some ways, right? He either has to attack a lot, but then he leaves a wide gap that Partey can't make up, right? But if it's Odegaard goes up there and Rice can fill that hole. And so when the ball is around the box, Rice can run onto it. But none of that has really happened for him the last 2 or 3 games because of Odegaard missing, I think. So overall, I think Rice's game has suffered because of Odegaard missing.
Dow, I will make a very shocking statement here, and it might not go down well with people that might watch this later on. I will take the final season Granit Xhaka than have this Declan Rice that I have right now. I mean, it might be shocking, but just read between the lines and see and pierce through what I'm trying to talk about. Just imagine through what I'm talking about. I would like to have that Granit Xhaka that would give me that 16 goals that final season, man. I mean, I'll go for a midfielder that'll give me 16 goals. I don't see Declan Rice scoring up to 50. I don't see Declan Rice scoring 10 goals this season. I'm sorry, man. Not with how he's playing, you know. So I will take that Granit Xhaka final season, Granit Xhaka, than to have this particular Rice I'm seeing right now. It might change. I mean, I'm all up for the change. I want things to be changed, but right now, with what I'm seeing, shocking performance today. 3.5. It doesn't get up to 4 for me. Yeah, 3.5. Absolutely shocking. And again, he's leading that position in being one of our most ill-disciplined players. I mean, he took a yellow card today. If he played more 20 minutes, that'll be another yellow card. Tap, tap, boom, red card, off he goes. Back to back again. And these are it's in the tiny details, it's in the little things that really does matter. If we waited, under pressure for more 10, 15 minutes, he would have taken another yellow card and God knows what. Another red card. That's 2 red cards in about 2 weeks. Bro, it doesn't make complete sense. Mostly when you've spent that kind of money on a midfielder, you should be getting more from. And instead, you're getting calamities like that, red cards and bad performances. I mean, that's not what we paid 100 million for. We paid 105 million pounds for trickery, for box to box, for some goals. How about that? I mean, let's not shy away from box to box and getting some goals. How about that? We deserve that, innit? Good. Let's throw that all away. How about the scorecard for Trossard today, man? I mean,
go ahead, Bargain.
Yeah, it's probably gonna have to be. It's gonna be. It's gonna be on the same scale as Rice. I'd probably say about 4, 3, 4. I mean, he's kind of, depending on how you look at it, he's at fault for the game. But that doesn't mean he's like a complete. He had a bad day. That's all. It doesn't mean
he didn't really have a bad. Yeah,
he still scored some important goals. I still think he's a better bench player though. I still think he's a better bench player. I know he wants more. I know he wants more, but it's just you have to get the balance right. You have to get the balance right with that one.
So you give him a 5?
Yeah. Probably 4.
4. I think I'm gonna give him a 4 too. And go ahead, Tony. You want to go for it?
No, you can go, Oregon.
I'll give him a 4, and the quick reason why is because he is an impact player. And I mean, Is he only starting because Odegaard's out, right? Is he only starting because certain players are out? Probably. But he is better than Martinelli. Martinelli now is 0-17. He has 0 assists, 0 goals in 17 fucking games,
Yeah.
guys. That is not good. But I do not rate Trossard. Again, like I said earlier, he's good, but he's not going to get us the Champions League glory, and we ain't going to lift the title with him. I don't think he's going to be, meaning that he's not going to be the catalyst why we lift the title, right? He's going to come up. He needs to come off the bench. Sterling has to start games. I'm sorry, but it's time we put Sterling on the left and see what he can do with Saka and Havertz. It was pretty shocking. I thought Sterling may have started today, against his old club, that sort of thing. But I mean, Sterling against Kyle Walker, I would take that. Kyle Walker's lost that, even though he's a very, very solid, probably the best right back in the league. But him and Ben White, but. The thing is that Sterling could have done something today, and I'm very surprised he didn't even get on the pitch, to be honest.
Exactly.
I don't know what to say about Trossard. I just think that the more he plays, the game just passes him by. If he's not getting the ball and dribbling out of trouble or scoring a goal, he's absolutely fucking useless.
Exactly, man. I completely agree with you. No comments. No comments. I agree.
Right.
No comments. I agree.
There's better wingers out there we could get.
No comments. I totally agree with that. Let's go to Martinelli. Bag of Martinelli.
Yeah, so this is another one. So all three of these players are gonna be like on fire. So I'd probably give them all 4s, honestly. But like probably Trossard, but Martinelli's another 4. Actually, here's the reason I'll give him a 5 is because I think Saka's rating should be a little bit. Actually, no, yeah, I'll give him a 4, and I'll give Saka a 5, and I'll tell you why. Like when we get to Saka, I just think his side. I think personally, his side was his side should have shut down that like Savio goal. So in a way, like I kind of blame him also. So that's why I give him a lower rating than the Saka, who was also just as poor. So probably maybe like 3 or 4, probably 3 or 4. Like I'll go 3.
Argentina, Martinelli. Shocking performances. Every single performance from that guy is shocking. He didn't have a shocking performance today. Neither was his Atlanta performance shocking. But I mean, from the start of the season, man, compared to what he has done last season, man, it's a drag. Shocking. I mean, he doesn't want to. I mean, the spirit is dead. The spirit is dead.
Right.
I mean,
that's where the issue comes for me. It's like I can see Martinelli coming off the bench to give us that bit of pace against Everton, Wolverhampton, Ipswich, right? Crystal Palace. That's where I can see Martinelli coming off the bench. The point I'm at now is Sterling has to start. Martinelli got another stinker today, and he gets a 4. I'm not going to go as lower than a 4 today, but it's a 4. I mean, he's produced nothing in 17 games. Nothing. 0 assists, 0 goals, passing the ball backwards, can't get around defenders, can't lift his head up. Every once in a while, flash one across the face of the goal like he did today. There's just no end product, right? He's my little player. I got the black shirt with his name and number. It breaks my heart.
It's a waste.
It's a waste. Right? I wasted the extra $40 on your kit. But, that was 2 seasons ago. So, anyway, and yeah, it does because I really rated him. I mean, even Ronaldo has come out 2 or 3 years ago and said that he would be a top premier player. I remember him being linked to Arsenal and United when he was 15, 16 years old. So I've known the backstory of this kid pretty well. And again, he's one of my favorite players of the squad. But it is just not happening for him today. And I'm at the point where there's better out there, guys. I want a trophy. And I don't care if we have to sacrifice Corneli and Trossard. I'm sorry, but if they're not going to get us the trophy,
better out there.
Well, I mean, the problem is But the problem is like he's still probably the one winger that runs at players though directly. So he actually
But
takes
there's
people on.
nothing there. He runs at wingers and
Like
loses the ball. So what are we really?
you're right,
Oh
because
I
Bolton
mean,
is
Baggers,
yeah, but like GA's no, you have to
Bag,
get GA. I
Baggers.
get that part.
Oh my day. But Baggers, this is what gets me to tear the remaining. I know my hair is falling off, but
Yeah.
man, this thing you just said. It makes me want to just tear the remaining hair out of it.
Yeah, but like when do you see Saka
What
do the
are
same
you
thing though?
saying?
When do you see Saka
We
do the
just
same
saw
thing?
Savio. We just saw Savio with savagery
Yeah,
down
but
that left hand side. And you're telling me of running at players. Do I
level.
bring players who run at? Come on, man. I
yeah, I
don't want
mean,
a player who will come and run about and run at players with no end product, with no goals. What are we talking about here, man?
I'm just
This
saying,
is
like
what this is
he's
what
the
gets me
most likely
mad,
person. He's the most likely person to do that though on our
Right.
team.
bro.
That's
I don't need that. I don't need
That's
that.
the issue.
I
That's
need
the issue.
goals.
I
I
know,
need
I
goals.
know, I know.
I need goals. Oh my God.
I get that. I get
Mark,
that.
I said before. He's the
Back.
I mean, we can't. All right, so but
players.
you gotta be even.
Players.
You gotta be
end
even with
product.
everybody. Then you gotta be even with everybody in that same regard. Then, like, I mean,
You don't really.
What do you mean
like, I
run at
mean,
play?
I feel like
I don't.
Saka's the same thing though. Like, I mean, you can look at him. He had the crossing cross for he had the cross for Havertz. Touchline winger, same thing. I think Martinelli's are better like close space. What is it like? Close.
Fast paced winger, pacing winger. I get it.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I totally agree with that. Like I said, he's my left winger. I get
Yeah.
it. The pace is there, the trickery's there.
Yeah, we
But-
could say he's been terrible. Yeah, I agree
If
with
it
that.
doesn't, game after game, if it doesn't get us anything,
Oh, sell
that's
it,
where I believe like where Tony's frustration is. And believe me, that
Oh my God.
frustration with Martinelli is the same with Saka. Right? For me, at least. I mean, I try to even him out, but if Saka scores 2 goals, right, I'm going to give him man of the match, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
Martinelli, I don't know if it's the positioning on that left side, if he's too far back, or if he's too up front. I really don't know what it is. And I don't think Arteta really knows either. And Arteta's starting him for all the reasons you
Yeah.
gave, Mark, which is great. You know, but
You
at the
know
end
what?
of the
Yeah,
day, he's not
we
doing
are
it.
we are
He's not
we are
assisting.
we
He's not
Arsenal
even
fans.
assisting.
We Arsenal fans. We deserve everything
Right.
we're
Like,
getting.
and that's the
We
thing.
deserved
He's
it.
not scoring goals. I don't
No,
expect my winger. I don't expect my winger to score a ton of goals. I
Yeah.
do expect him to have a shit ton of assists.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
In the last 4 games, I mean, that's 17 games, bro. Not even 1 assist. I mean, that's not even healthy. That's like 10 men out there.
But that's the same thing with Odegaard though. Every time someone criticizes Odegaard, it's the same arguments all around with our team. Like it's like
no, exactly.
so
But-
that's all I'm saying. It's like we got to keep it even. We got to keep it even with like everybody.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I
Like
have
we'll see what
one-
Sterling does. We'll see Sterling does when he finally gets in the
Bro.
team. When he finally gets a
Bro.
chance.
I mean, and there's a
Bro.
whole issue of why we've had 3 left wingers anyway that I don't even want to get into, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously there's a
Baggett-
question on that
Baggett.
left side for Arteta.
Bagov, if you need a player to just run at players, just get Oregon Gunner. Oregon Gunner will keep running at players. Bro, he doesn't need to score
Yeah.
goals. Oregon, wouldn't that be a good deal? As in Arsenal sign Oregon Gunner. I don't need to score goals, just run at players. He will do that perfectly. Come on, man. Arsenal, what are you waiting for? Sign him up. Sign him up.
Sign the 50 year
Hey, so Trossard doesn't do that though. Trossard doesn't do that though. Just saying, like people always people want Trossard in. The one thing Trossard does better at times is crossing with the left foot. That's one thing I will say he does a little bit better.
So you
So
want Trossard there because he scores goals, not because he has tricks and flicks,
yeah.
right?
yeah, that's
So the
true.
argument right now
He
is
doesn't,
one of
he
them
doesn't do it as a starter. He doesn't do it as a starter though. He doesn't do it as a starter though.
Right,
Bagov,
right.
Bagov,
That's the dilemma. That's the dilemma we're in. Is who do you start?
Bagov, when you go head to head with Manchester City for 2 seasons and you haven't won any trophy, you have to get quality that that will get you over the line. We haven't gotten quality over the line.
Yeah, well, that's
Martinelli
a
isn't
scouting
the
issue.
answer. Martinelli isn't the answer on the left hand side to get us over the line and win a trophy for us. a major
Yeah, but that's a
trophy for
scouting
them.
issue. That's a scouting
So
issue though, because we have issues. We have other structural issues on that one. On that
no,
one.
but the
Like,
player. No,
we
what
could
are
go
you
for.
saying? No. What are you saying? It's a player issue
It's
too.
finally gotten
He's
better.
one of
It's finally gotten
he-
better, but like,
he's one of our highest earners in the football club. Let's don't act as if he's not a high earner in this football club. Respectfully, we pay him good money to play for this football club.
no, I agree.
Presumably it's one of the oldest and one of the most senior players in this team. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So in terms of the player that has more experience in this team, it's Martinelli. In terms of a player that earns more money than most players too, it's Gabriel Martinelli. He just engineered a new deal for himself last season. He's been paid top dollar to play. So what are we talking about? He's being paid to dish out status every week. But again, good, no problem. If people still want him there, because this guy walks straight into every Arsenal fan's first 11 this season. I don't know why. He
I
walks
think it's
into Bagger's first 11. He walks into the BX Gunners first 11. He's walking to bro, lots of everyone's first 11. I'm saying, how about we switch it up? How about we just throw in this guy, Sterling there? Let's try something new.
Martinelli was a striker under Unai Emery. He had 10 goals.
10 goals.
Exactly.
I mean, we'll see.
Forever. That's a normal position.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
see.
try something new. But again, let's throw that away.
180 grand a week for 0 assists in 17 games is bad.
It's bonkers.
That's 17 weeks of nothing, and we're
No,
paying
I'm
this
just
guy
saying.
17 times 180. I mean, it's just like holy shit for not even an assist.
Okay,
Like,
no
wow.
problem.
No, I mean,
Arsenal fans,
we'll see
we
how
will
the
learn.
season
We
goes
would
now. We'll
learn.
see how the season
We
goes
would
now.
learn, and we will learn the hard way. No problem.
We just
Let's
have to
run
wait.
away from.
We just have to wait on that one. We just have to wait on that one. Like,
We're already waiting.
we haven't
We're
seen
already waiting.
Sterling. We haven't seen Sterling, and we don't want Trossard. I mean, argument for Trossard
I
too.
Morgan have a Martinelli shirt for Christmas. I could tell he's.
I already have one. I got one.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka, the last one, because I need to run up now and I have a call. So Bukayo Saka,
He gets
final one.
He gets like a 3. He gets a 3.
Exactly.
He hasn't done anything. Another one. Like, it's the same exact issue.
Nothing.
Like,
It's a stinker. It's a stinker today. A stinker.
There's a part of me that believes, unfortunately, that Martinelli and Saka are just not good enough. They're very good, but if you put Saka in Liverpool or City, he'll cook. If you put Martinelli somewhere, possibly. Like, I think if you put Martinelli like a Palace, maybe God forbid a Tottenham side, you would see a different Martinelli. But
the downgrade.
Yeah. I mean, but you put it in perspective, Tony. 180 grand a week for 0 assists at 17 games. I mean, that's robbery. I mean,
it's robbery.
Understand goals. Goals are the hardest thing to score. It takes wingers, strikers sometimes time to get into a scoring rhythm, right? Holland obviously got in that rhythm the first minute of the season, right? I mean, it's incredible. But I think with the 6 goals like Martinelli had last season and the 17 straight games with no assists, no goals. In January, I don't think we'll make a move, but next summer, we need to really be looking at that left-hand side. And again, he's tried to fix it now. With Trossard, he tried to fix it, and he realized that Trossard's really not a starter, even though he still starts him now because he has to because of Odegaard. But, I mean, he's not confident with Trossard either. Why do we bring Sterling in? So he's obsessed with this wing position, and still not someone in for Saka. We could have played in Wari for Saka, right? If we would have had 10 men, etc. I mean, and Wari has to play against Bolton. We have to play the kids against Bolton.
We have to play him. We have to use him. We have to use him.
The kids against Bolton. But overall, Tony, I thought the game was, but overall, I mean, Saka was a 4. Nothing.
4. I just give him 3.2, man. Shocking performance. Dreadful performance. And again, you can see the disappointment in his face when it was,
Yeah,
shoved out. I mean, if it was so important in that game, why would Mikel Arteta, who never actually attempt to even
to
get
sell.
Saka, even
Right,
if he's injured, get him out of the game? It's
right.
that dreadful, shocking, abysmal performance. I thought that that was more about his performance. His Uster was more about his shocking performance and protecting his image than he being injured or as a precaution
Or
to
us
get
going
him off
defensive
that play.
Ben White.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will just show drab. And of course, definitely when you, of course, I mean, if it was an outlet, I mean, he left Martinelli on the pitch. Why? Because he felt that Martinelli could still be used as an outlet because of his pace or wherever,
right.
as an outlet to get the ball out, when we're in muddy waters, when the assault is facing us, in our defensive, in our defensive setup. He knew that Bukayo Saka, probably maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe Bukayo is playing with an injury. We don't know
Possible.
yet.
I think he was
All
hooked
these
because
things.
he was really defensive. I think he was hooked because Ben White had to come on to give
Yeah.
us the 5-man defense. To be
I
honest,
mean, yeah,
part of
yeah,
that
yeah.
is, but part of that is based in performance, right? Arteta saw
In
something out there.
performance.
Yeah, let's just
I,
let's be safe
I
and
mean,
put Ben White right. And
it's
how's Saka going to defend anyway, right? Saka cannot defend. Let's be honest. He can be
Nah.
troublesome, but Saka against Gavidal and a double team, City will do that all day, and they'll take that all day. Once Saka gets double teamed, it's over. And
Yeah, but he
it's
played
over.
he played left back at our club though. Like it's hard to like say he can't defend. Like
yeah, well, I mean that was because we didn't really have a left back.
he took Kolasinac out the team pretty much. He ended like Kolasinac.
Well, that's not saying much.
Like,
Guys,
Yeah, but I don't
guys,
even
I
know
have
if
to
he
go. I have to because I have to go to work tomorrow.
yeah,
It's 1 a.m. down here, man.
yeah,
See,
same.
me and Oregon Gunnar will be back next week. We have our show next week. I'll talk to him and see when is okay this week. Bag of what do you have coming up this week? Oregon, what do you have coming up this week?
um, hanging out with you, working, and then I should be on the show with TJ Warren on Friday for the American Idiots.
Ooh,
I
TJ, big up.
TJ Popo, and I might be on with Jez for just a quick review or something. I'll talk to Jez and see if he wants somebody on with him. Other than that,
Yeah,
Mark Gav, it's great to see you on camera, bro.
Yeah,
For the first,
yeah,
nice to really
yeah.
meet you. Yeah, you sound good. You got a camera, perfect. Let's do more of this stuff, man. We'll get you on the
Yeah,
American
yeah,
Idiots
for sure.
too.
yeah.
Tony, thanks again for letting me on late. I'm sorry. You
No,
guys are
it's
just
okay.
that
Nah,
outfit.
nah, nah, nah.
We got a
It's
whole other hour and a half, but no, it was good to talk about this because I think that there's weaknesses in this team that we all see, right? And I know
Yeah,
these players they grow close to us. We want them to succeed. We want them to lift trophies. But at the end of the day, you have to let some of these players go who cannot just get it over the line. And as heartbreaking
true.
as that is, as upsetting as that is for a lot of our fan base, it's the Arsenal emotion. And after several more years of this, as you guys know, you will
yeah,
get out of that emotion. It takes time to get out of that. I want Mark Nelly to succeed, but I'm not going to pay a guy 180 grand a week who can't get an assist.
yeah.
Fact.
It's
Fact.
I mean,
just
after ESR, I'm pretty sure it'll happen more though. After ESR, like I mean, that was
I hope so.
yeah,
Yeah, I hope so. I know maybe the football gods are
yeah,
listening and
yeah,
the stars align, like Tony says, and Martinelli will
The
score 12
stars
15 goals.
aligned.
yeah,
But I just think that, like Tony said, 180 grand a week for no assists, 17 games. You have to take a look at that.
yeah,
You have to
yeah,
find out.
You have to, man. You have to.
Yeah.
See ya, guys. From me, Oregon Gunner, and Bag of my brother. See ya, guys. Yeah. If you're watching this later on, me and Bagger will be doing watch alongs for the Champions League at times when I'll be around and I'm free. So you have to catch that one. You guys know Bag of loves. He lives for this Champions League night. I talk with him. He talks about Champions League most of the time.
Best
He
trip in the
doesn't
world.
really do care about Premiership. He just loves
Nah, I wouldn't
Champions
say
League.
that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
Bro,
that.
I've
Okay, he
done
wants
I've
that
done
UCL
Champions
trophy. I get
League.
it. I want that trophy
I've done
bad.
Champions League. I've actually done Champions League watch alongs with Bagav, and it's so freaking interesting because he also reminds me of Steve. Because Steve, of course, watches lots of European football. So Bagav, to be nice to have one of those watch
Yeah,
alongs with you during the coming weeks, man. Big ups to you.
yeah,
And Arjun,
PSG.
gonna want to say something, man.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say the watch alongs during the week are fantastic.
Mm, yeah, definitely. So yeah, from me, Bagger and Arjun, Junior, my brother, my guy, we are out.
Oh.
Peace, guys.
Cheers, man.